Hello. And welcome to the channel, members. Ik wijs not over the Viggy, and ik wijs dat ik maak video's mostly of Yiddish. Welcome to the Friday, members only. Live. Van me gaat anyway, please give me hit the like button. Ze gaat. Zijn een lange week. Oh, het van me gaat anyway, dat verzoeken absolutely positively is niet. Financial advice. So please be very careful the market te wegnemen. Alles wat die hast. Als je gelijk beter bent. So please. Do not copy trade. Kijk eens hoe wie een kind en een adult dus speelt zich met Lego. En dan weet je hoe het is. So thank you for that. Alright, let's get into it. Okay. How about a stickle cold? Woo! Good news. I'm going to see Shabbos music. Let's go.
Get Shabbos, get Shabbos. Get Shabbos, get Shabbos, get Shabbos. Heilige Shabbos, süße Shabbos, get Shabbos, get Shabbos. Lechine ranenu, la Hashem.
Wow. How about cold or something?
Let's see.
Coming down with some form of cold or something. Wow, kijk op de 830 candle. 200 point candle. From 330 to 530 almost. 200 points. 190 also. Op een post of the chat, op een post our website, ik heb daar een account heist Buy Me a Coffee. Je know, bijna wil supporten de channel, dat ken geen dat. Maar bijna wil dat geschikt naar QuickPay. Dat is ook het arbeid. לא שווה ומידרס קוידש אילי מפונו וקולורת אמרי בגוי מה שווה מולו Wow. The news is acting up. What are they? What are they to the news to be acting up? Gold is 4,092. So get right next, limits again 4,200, 4,170. But I guess it's back down to 4. Dow Jones 46,733. So hovert daar in the all-time high. Film mit government shutdown with the ganze Sache. It's still going. Binnen mir wusste geschehen 8:30. Als ich als ein Spike. Trump hat getweet or something? Bitcoin 111. Struggle to him though, struggle to him. We gaat aan Magachir, was geheißen Sklash in Seagate. Wir vielleicht so ein kleiner Nonja mit so viel Sachen. Meestal doet ze like Tesla, to be quite honest. Laat me deze WiMAX, laat me gaan overrikken door. Dit is private zaak. For 46. Okay. It is in the range. Oir shir l'shavem shilchu b'dosh Ki yiniflu oy susu Oy shiu loy Yeremi yenoy Ki yizru yakodesh Oy diya asherem yeshiu busoy l'ayna yagod Vieles of you ich zoek mich als ich hab a cold die ganze Zeit. Helle gut mal cold. So I just gotta watch out. Gotta watch out. Kiwi Shine says, follow the lines. Very nice. Very nice. Usually guy is verkeerd. Ze steps erop in een glitcher erop. Kijk op de een candle. We kennen Jeanne als deze. Because er was geweest in een order. Ergens wie dacht om dan stap. Is gegaan van 363 to 326. 36, 46, 56, and 66. Come out 40 points. You wouldn't survive it. So jeder einige worden nach Hause gestappt. Für das Sachide. And boom. Ya Melech Hashem. CPI numbers. Inflation rate hits 3% in September. Lower than expected, ook nog. Oh, wait, neem het eens. The CPI numbers are not all equal. What's the CPI numbers? Inflation rate. Okay, we're getting smarter and smarter. So 830 are all equal in the numbers. See when better than expected, and boom. Yankee T. Getting out of Shabbos. Getting out of weekend. How you doing? Ooh, I'm coming out cold. Is that cold? How about that stuffy news? I got some stuffies going on. How are you? We're still too late to the music, yeah? Do some difficult. I can participate in your poll. Yeah. Yeah, I outsmarted the smarter. Joking. So you're vibing. I like it. Get the answer. I like. Yeah, to Aniso. Wow, the news. Yankee is wartig allein de boek. Yankee. Ausgehört de boek, meine Freunde. Vila shebebebebe behadras kovoyedes. Vila shema lamonim kaila kuvoy didididim avashem amadim rabim koila shema koya didido ero 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 no time. You should make time. You should make time. Es ist geht. Ich vergesse nicht, hupen der Knowledge meint nicht an die Hostas. Man darf es auch practice. Du wissen etwas und nur die erste Sache. Du Menschen, was meinen, als weil man weiß schon etwas, ist mir schon geht. Es ist ein Start, but the September Consumer Price Index edged up to 3%, cooler than forecasted. Deze game de pop 830. Wegen dem ist schrecklich zu treten für 930. Because of the huge volatility. Was nimmt daraus jedem? Government shutdown drags on without pay for workers. Millions of federal employees are missing paychecks aimed at the ongoing shutdown. It's the 24th day. The Senate blocked a bill to compensate them, escalating partisan tension. Bye-bye. Das wissen die eigentlich, aber es ist important. Wir suchen trust me. Communication is the first. Was ist Communication? Was haben wir sagen, wenn man ist excited, die Sachen sind noch frisch, und du get the communication. Aber nachdem, wenn Sachen settles down, real life kicks in, and we're only humans, devils darf man communication. So, when man fängt das an as friends, you know, just say so yeah. Aren't we lucky? Jeder 6, 7 Tag, gibt man sich Haleshos. Jeder auf seinem Level. I think we should take advantage of it. Und ich rede jetzt nur von einem physical level. Ich rede nicht von einem so-called higher level. Good job. Es ist nicht so, wie die nimmst du Dienstag off. Es ist jeder in einer Community. what you're used to, you know? Wow. Feel this is a git, meaning like Chabash Nickel cold, so when them guy had up time because it's sneeze. Da 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 la 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 la. Feel as if we started noch beim Guide Camping. Ich bin geschlafen in der Hammock, es ging kälter wie geplant. Du steigt mir, NBA gambling scandal deepens with arrest. FBI probes into illegal betting led to arrest of high-profile players and coaches. Director warns that this is just a start. Ja, der Mensch, was gesagt, dass nicht schrägt. Sachen sind allein gekriegt. Nicht eibig, but you know what I mean. If there is a chance, lean to the side of caution. Also wie die Menschen, wir spielen online Poker, ihr seid dachten, dass es safe. Es ist nicht möglich, dass es safe. A computer can is generating cards, whatever. In einem gebauten System. Ja, so weiß, wo die bekommt. Trump administration finalizing plans to allow oil and gas extraction in Alaska coastal plants. Nice. Drill, baby. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-la-la-la-la-la. Hey. Gold to the cutoff fee for 4,100. Question is, jetzt ist the high in gold? So, ich kann auch jemand testen der Golden Zone. So, lassen wir jetzt sehen, sie will raufgehen warten. Like, du raufgekommen, bounce in den Kaduk. Lassen wir sehen, sie will machen dem Yui rauf. Rauf zu 5,000. In meinem Kopf habe ich ein Sell für 5,000. They do it with the value. Starke rote value. Maar du fangt schon weer schwacher, de value. Maar du gewinnt de MACD, du gewinnt de crossover. Brooklyn. Good morning. Get near of Shabbos, get near of weekend. How you doing? How you doing? De kablo. Wieso greift man sich? Wieso greift man sich und befreit sich? La 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 la. La 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 la. We zijn de next poetek. Op gold 0 circa roekemen. Een fail. Bij 4,000. Oh, there. Willen circa overgaan. We'll see the next few days. Meaning, like, we'll see the next. We say paint. Yibidai dahto, yibidi do. Dididai la 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 la. There's all the classics. Wie is Sochi? Sochi. Aha. Ah, ja, 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 ja.
Ah, ja, ja, ma, ja, ja.
Ah, ja, 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 ja. Tidida, oh, yo, yo. Tidida, ya, ya, ya. Wow, der News. I guess ich bin nicht geschlafen geht, also 10 kälter wie ich habe gemeint. Alright. Now I gotta pay the price. Tidida, ya, 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 ya.
לכו
בית שבת.
לכו בית שבת. לכו בית שבת.
Tididoi, doi, 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 doi.
לכו בית שבת. לכו בית
Was ich so jede Woche ist wegen der Vibe. Also nicht jede Woche heißt es viel. Nicht jede Woche heißt es viel wie, oh, hab ich der Vibe. Sie kreiert sich. But the Woche, was is, you gotta push it, sort of fake it until you make it, helft dich actually raus. My experience. Wanna watch something? Was du zu watchen? Uloi malaichem malach hayashuloi. Ich will halten Freitag, das ist von mir. Den mein Vibe. Ruhig. Du kommt daran, checkt daran. Du bringt daran den Shabbos/Weekend, whatever boat you float. When I heard today of Are You Ready to Meet God? Phew. Vooral met alle teritzen. Gotta run away. Zal ik het episode? Oh, die had een eigen channel ook. Hold on. The news is running. Give me a second.
ותחס בחפץ כפהו הידה הידה איה מאיה איה מאיה איה איה
It's very good. Nice. Could be I'll do it like 10-15. That could be. Because 10-15 will zijn down the trade. Wow, the news. Phew. Beyo farkuri. Beyo farkuri. Libshi big day. Sifat echami.
Sifat echami.
Fairly Klein, breaking the rules, living authentically. How to spot a cold? No, that's an issue. Hey, hello. Diddy da da da. Diddy da da dee da dee da 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 da. Diddy da da. Jeder eine will das irgendwie immer so leben, ne? Authentic truth, lifestyle authenticity. Woo. You're doing everything wrong, people. You're doing everything wrong. An hour and 42 minutes. Phew. But the kicking shows you back in the views. Meaning that people might not be into this. So, this is the channel. 457 subscribers, 20 videos. Hier die 600 views a video average. 700, I would say. Mehr, ein bisschen mehr. Man's trading with Pessi Schwartz. That's rich. Wo ist er jetzt? But I see what you're saying. It's Esther. It's a Schwester. All the way from Canada. Get near the Shabbos. Get near the weekend. How you doing? Good morning, cheese. Oh, all right. I got it. I should have been quicker than that, Esther. I should have been quicker. But I guess not. The life is seen. Brooklyn, the Kansas is Sally, huh? Just imagine. No, hold on. Oeh, laat me gaan zien. No, hold on. Ik was even de Shabbos-song van... wow, ik voel niet goed. De news is met een ganzen. Hayadoki. Let's see. Good morning, Hebra. The U.S. President state is making the love Canada 51 state. Winner, winner. I think things would be cheaper for you guys. I have no idea. I don't know which side you're on the issue, you know? So I'll be on any side you want. You know what I'm saying? In a klein gestern zatig. In a kalten, kurzen Freitag spaziert in Los Angeles der Zwilling-Landstein. At least you'll have First Amendment and the Second Amendment to protect the First. Gebal, Shabbos, Gebal. En nu dan nu schijnes, wow, nog een avond geblieben dort allein is. De Zeigerl geht an Weg, wie auch später war. Kimmt Jidele Zizi Eimen, Shalom Aleichem, Bavem Estir Bavem. You subjected the White House? Yes. Sprach von der Mann. What an odd question. Ich habe gesehen, einer getweet, a picture from the press secretary mit Turk, and fragt, what is the president going to do about our Shidduch crisis? What a response. What a tweet. What a stupid. Kennst du die Masse? Einige hat einmal ein Key, geben Milch. Der gerät sich an Friends, er fragt, du gehst jetzt einen Ruf, einen Rebbe, you know, 3-week travel. Geh beter gaan. Kommt daheim, besucht von der Wab. Der Wab will nicht. Bet sich und gewinnt endlich der Wab. Ich bin zu lassen für like 8 Wochen. Na, schon. Gewinnt. Fuhrt bis in der Rebbe. Kommt daran zu der Rebbe. Sucht von der Rebbe, als bezahlt seine Masse mit der Kie. Der Rebbe geht ihm abbruchen. Der Kie ist anfangen. Fuhrt daheim. Kommt toen in daheim. Öffnet auf die Tier mit der Schmeichel. Fragt der Wab, nee, the key geht schon Milch? Ja? Die lässt ihn mal rupen, Patsch. Kijkt, wo es geht vor? Sagt sie, kiek. Hat du schon ja gemacht, der lange Weg. Hast mich schon ja gewinnt. Du hast gewiss, dass arbeitet. Hast du nicht gebeten für Chocolate-Milch? Hat es schon endlich gemacht in der White House Presscorps. In deze fragt Just imagine. Yeah, at the Rugen in a kleine pitchy stickel, he's gonna build a ballroom to pick up people, yes. Wie darf man aufnehmen? Ja. Maar je kent er aanleggen een bowling alley. Je kent er aanleggen een movie theater. Ik kan er aanleggen een ballroom. Havare brochele. Obama had aangelegd dat $300 million also construction. CNN had gezegd, they love the sound of the chisel or whatever. It's Trump drench and anything I did in his gate. Anything I did in his gate. Ich sehe, ich habe gesehen, einem auf Twitter schreibt, it's so messy. Und ich dachte mir, hast du mal gesehen? Hast du mal gesehen Construction? Construction ist messy, bis man cleant das auf. Bis man finish the construction. And obviously he's strolling the left. And the left doesn't pick it up. Of course. Ich darf the ballroom, also ich darf noch ein Loch im Kopf, as they say. Kesura karive kerubu chavelaya Vadir gesinnte Jura. I saw pictures from the air. It's not that bad. He always taps his power. He does what he wants. Wakes up in the morning. Die redt schon ein kleiner Shed bei der Seite von der White House. And that's what happens. Ich denke, wenn der Left, als vergessen, ein paar Tage zurück, wenn der Left hat geschrieben, als American Flag is triggering. Und jetzt bei der No King Protest haben sie alle gehabt American Flags. Ken. Damals hätte sich kein treffen, die in the more the left is going to freak out about things, the more he's going to do it. And they have pro in them. That's what he does. And the left falls for it. And flip me shows. Wenn ich ihm darauf sagen, I want to build a ballroom, darf jeder einer sagen, yeah, build a ballroom, bigger. And that's it. And noch hat er sagen, hey, you know what? I woke up this morning and decided not to build. You know? I'm saying what he took down. What he's building, yeah, the Trump. He's gonna build huge. The biggest. Yeah, that's what he does. And as I get a troll, I like to have a picture of the arch of some desk. In the left, arch. That's what he does. It is a troll. And if you're going to feed into him, that's what he's going to give you. Action and action a ganze Zeit. Orange man bad. Es hat rausgekommen, gegangen zu Walter Reed Hospital und der Doktor hat rausgegeben einen Zettel, also genommen seine Flu-Shots und genommen Covid. So the people on the left, you see, all of a sudden, is get the COVID shot. The right hat nicht gesagt, dass nicht geht. The right hat gesagt, don't force me to take it. Die willst das nehmen? Sure, march on up to your pharmacy, pull up your sleeve, and let them inject you whatever you need. But don't force me to have it. Especially if somebody had it already. They have them geschrien, no king, but yet mat verloren the jobs. Oder nicht gehad the paper. Man tun nicht Voter ID, aber a COVID paper hat man gemisst heranzugehen in Plätze. Ken. Weil gedacht ist von der Left, aber tun nicht Thai Parts. Aber tun nicht essen Thai Parts. Der Oil wohl gefrossen Thai Parts. Sally! Get near the Shabbos, get near the weekend. How you doing? Hello, welcome. No, we were touching on it. We were touching on Trump's big, beautiful ballroom. There has never been a ballroom bigger and more beautifuler Oh, is a get. A troll 101. We go boy guliso. Draait zich er even maar een picture van de White House, dus maar gehabt van de air. Penny. Shabbos get native weekend. How you doing? Covering all bases. What about the races? Brooklyn, that's the town of the ganze Masse. You can't just ask that question as out of the visa heißt das. Vavanti mavavauko. Als je de Trump respond wegen Hargen en no Hargen en de Geverus brengen aan drugs. Yeah, we will kill him. Esther, was meint es? LUFD. I'm new aged. I'm old aged. Ich kenne nicht die women stay in the kitchen. Brooklyn. We don't say the things out loud. Shuloi me voira. Me voira. Me voira. Ay 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 ay. Ay 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 ay. Sally is talking about her Flake line. She does something with the duff. Talking about Trump, I'm enjoying what he does. I also tell my kids that Trump is everything the opposite of Mr. Sue. Meaning, the Duff Bummy. I mean, she was on the None of Your Business podcast. Brooklyn asked if we want to watch it, so I said maybe 10-15. Oh yeah 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 yeah. Boo Shabbos, boo Shabbos, ubenichu. Boo Shabbos, boo Shabbos. The money doesn't come from the left. Yeah. People are donating it. People want Hanifa, so they're donating it, you know? Bu 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 Shabbos bu manichu. Shabbos, Shabbos kodesh. Wie heilig ist Shabbos. Ich habe gesehen auf oder CNN oder eine von den medias. Something is up with Trump. In the person that we're having a interview with says, but hat doch Schuhes redt und macht und Biden ist meistens the press secretary von Biden. No, it's not true. Biden gewinnt derselbe wie Trump. All right. Okay. I guess I wouldn't believe my lying guys, I guess. Man darf zusammenstellen Geld, was sie können gehen für den Shabbos. Hashem, Hashem, Nusan, Viggy. Hashem, Nusan, Viggy, Le'amama, Yisru, Ail, Bam, 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 Bam. Hashem, Hashem. First, take care of your geld. To be honest, I was thinking about it, but then I'm thinking, okay, I'm a lost cause. Maybe this will, yeah. We'll work out a deal. We'll phase it out. We'll phase it out. You're putting on the coffee pot. Yeah, talking about coffee pot, you want to support the channel. Aber gemacht da Schkoich von Brooklyn in Fassel. Was am gementioned the aber geöffnet da, wie heißt das? Buy me a coffee. So, and die willst, kannst du gerne mal check out. Buy me a coffee. And, yeah. You know, Sarah, I was thinking to do Tomche Shabbos for Menschen, was haben nicht kein Food for Shabbos. Wo tut sich mit der spiritual food, eh? Warum ist nicht die Organisation, was sucht, aber sie können gehen für spiritual food? Heilige Shabbos. Shabbos kodesh. Shabbos kodesh. Thank you, Sally, for the coffee. I appreciate the coffee, Sally. For your spiritual soul, no? If you say you have a spiritual soul, and how do you feed the spiritual soul? Do you claim that Torah is it? Then isn't that just as important as food? Actions speak louder than words. So these people should cough it up. Especially if somebody means it true, you know? So do a sach fakery. Mizbayach eats, yeah. Heilige Shabbos. Oh, yeah, 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 Liger Shabbos. Liger Shabbos. Liger Shabbos. You're asking if you should be by the shir? If you're going for Shabbos, you should go to the shir. Yes, you should force yourself. If you're going. Let's ask my Al kaini yitai Humabula gadesha Naki gavo Al kaini yitai Nu amle nafsho Yababoyne Sabayim babas Hino vechizdo oy berachama Chaya yare yichai Brooklyn, what happens if you go 1 week? What? You're gonna die? And just imagine, you get there and you're like all conked out and died, huh? Lamir machen Kiddush auf die ganze Welt. Kivoi shuvas kai mikol melavachtoi. Abruche fin maluche gezelt. Shabbos kodesh heiliger Shabbat. Two mention was Penny Stover mention was schon got a Sach experiences. They're like, nope, I don't need any more experiences. But thank you, Sonny. It's all you guys. It's all you. Brooklyn. So how about the Koiv's down spot for Sally, huh? If you don't want to go, just an idea. Brooklyn had to Brooklynify it, huh? Brooklyn. It's get down out Brooklyn. Brooklyn was like, I have to. Get on me. Oh, yo, Libby, and silver body. Ochet, Pinny, they mentioned was struggling, meaning they want to learn the daf and the struggle, and nobody gives them credit. Is nicht du kein Platz was I? Is I can't sitzen just because they're not a male. Just want to say that. Just want to say it. Sadly, he didn't, obviously under me. I'm sorry, wrong, but it's, if this is Chossam, it's like einer sagt, is a größe Novi. Like, obviously under Moshe Rabbeinu, you know? I'm joking. Yishema tzakusayni oidaya tamava ligimon Nikavait kavavavait oy kavait Yishema tzakusayni yoidaya kavavalimo Vitoi Chavecho. Metabocho. Vehu Yachmoi Olai. V'yeh mekabocho. Vehu Yachmoi Olai. Yismach Yismach Moshe. Ematnas Ematnas Chelkoi. Ki Yeven Neyman. Ki Yeven Neyman Kuvarusuloi. Yismach Yismach Moshe. Ematnas Chelkoi. Ki Yeven Neyman. Mira Shabbos, Chankusiv besoiru seyecho. Ya ba bye 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 bye. Ya ba 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 ba. Ya ba bye 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 bye. Sally, I just think people are just bored. People are looking for problems. People are honestly bored. Sadly, when Abby Stein came out as being trans or whatever, a lot of other people were like, I guess, that mitten Kaddish is so terrible. You know what I'm saying? These people are looking for problems. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. I'm sorry to hear das gata gibt a schlechte Woche, I'm sorry. Thank you for the oil and bus at for the coffees. It really means a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Olam ve'olamai u'bubu. Ve'olamai u'avanti malaku, avanti malaku, anti malku melech malchayu. Melech malchayu babu. Tafru miram shu lo babalaka babu ka Viggy Yeshu. Yeah, I saw it. I was busy. I was working last night. So. You hear the taba baby, see the mayo. Saki kefifi yegeva baba chini la baba fi chini la fi. Virtai bechina babayu, yariboy nubulam veyol babayu. Malchayam luchuchi Malchayashim baburai Trinai lai 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 Veyeve beliyoi Tate Shachim Tate. I love me, I love me, Tate. Shachim Tate. Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 bye. Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 bye. Ya ba bye ya ya, ya ba bye ya ya, ya ba bye ya ya ya. Ya ba bye ya ya, ya ba bye ya ya ya. Shoy khain Mudru doishmoi Ranen tzadikim Vashem Vayeshavu borim Tisra baboimam Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 bye. Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 bye. Hey ah, Movadoy v'kodoy shmoi. Siranen tzadikim Vashem Vayeshuvu borim tiseveiru. Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 bye. Ya ba bye bye bye, ya ba bye 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 ba ba ba. Sadly, you can make two sandwiches at once, huh? What actually about that turkey sandwich? I get the scooped out bread. Get the kalte, wie heißt das? Like a mayonnaise, but not a regular mayonnaise. Yo, 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 yo. Yeah, that's why I made it. That's why I made it. And I appreciate this. Yeah, bye 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 bye, yeah, bye bye bye. Ik wil zo'n quick pay net zero, but can just beat the system, you know? V'kodosh shemoi Tzadikim Vashem Why did I make buy me a coffee? Don't want to get into it right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, bye, 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 bye. Yeah, bye, 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 bye. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, bye, 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 bye. Bum. Pitney, thank you so much, Pitney. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Thank you, Pitney. I I appreciate it. I'm not blaming. I'm saying I'm giving you credit. You're the one who brought it up for the first. The first time you brought it up. A month ago. 2-3 months ago. Okay. All right. Gaan we watchen do. I don't know how long we're gonna watch it. I mean, it's an hour and 42 minutes, so we'll do our best. The Daf Mami. Viggy Klein on breaking rules, finding God, and living authentically. Let's get into it. So hot. Hold on. 17 hours ago, 1,200 views. All right, not bad. Let's get into it. Hold on. All right. Gaan we watchen None of Your Business podcast met, wie heißt sie? How do you pronounce his name? Viggy Klein on breaking rules, finding God, and living authentically. 17 hours ago, 1,200 views. Let's get into it.
Hosted by Michael and Ushi.
Hey, Michael and Ushi.
Everybody to another inspirational, growth-oriented, funny, humorous, amazing podcast. The None of Your Business podcast, produced by the Prime Source production team. Steph, Will, amazing how far we've gotten till now. Are you still not proud of over 10,000 listeners, Ushi?
I'm getting there.
You're getting there?
I'm getting there.
Okay, all right.
Be
good.
grateful.
Are you proud of the fact that Twillery is our sponsor now, or you're not into that either yet?
Is the check cleared yet?
The shirts have not arrived,
And the shirts have not arrived yet.
Okay, you know what? Maybe next week you'll actually get into it. I'm excited today because
Take-off members only. Brooklyn weiß usually wieso man wird convinced mit der Sachen. Mit der Gitte. Mach a joke. All right. Okay, it's got my public. Done. There you go. Shouldn't say I don't listen. Jetzt hat man warten von Quick Pay, huh? All right, let's go.
First of all, I'm loving all the likes and the comments, and
How about you?
from that, we come here today because somebody actually recommended you, and we're going to get straight into that. So,
Der Geist liken von 1.25. Just a bisschen schnell. Oh, no. Sleeper ist morgen. Playback speed 1.25.
welcome, Viggy Klein.
Yep.
So nice to have you with us.
Thank you. I still can't believe that I'm here. This has been a whirlwind. I'm excited to see where this goes.
Yeah.
What's the name Fally? Where does that?
Oh,
what's
Fally,
the root
okay.
word of that?
Yeah, I saw you stumble on it, and I'm like, they're for sure going to ask. It's the letter Aleph spelled backwards. My name is Fella, so I'm the oldest.
Interesting.
So you're a fella. Okay.
Right, so
I like it. I like Fally. I like it.
Me too.
It rolls off the tongue nicely.
It does. So like in class when I was in 9th grade, there was a Fali, Tali, and Molly in the same class. It was not my best year. But
Ze viel die direct zie snel. So we dachten, strikt maken zie normal. Oh, jeez.
yeah, I do love my name. Definitely helps me stand out a little bit.
I see what
So
you're
one
saying,
of the
sir.
ways we get our audience to get to know you is we have a segment called ChatGPT Said What About You. Have you ever done a ChatGPT Says What About You?
That's
I
actually
have
cool.
not, but I'm going to assume that whatever they took is straight off my website.
Not really. I don't know. It doesn't really give me the resources here, but it's on the bottom somewhere, which I don't have, but it's kind of interesting. Let's see where it takes us. So she turned a diagnosis at the age of 16 into a masterclass on resilience. While most teens were stressing about prom, she was rewriting her entire life playbook.
Wow, that is true. And that is something that I'm known for. The prom line is funny. I'm not sure how they got to that because the story of me and growing up is a from thing. There is one line probably in the entire book I wrote about having a cancer diagnosis about prom, but that's funny.
So you never know where it comes from. So you wrote a book.
I did. I wrote a book called Miracle Ride. It's not published under my name. It's published under a pen name, Tzippi Caton. It's pretty famous. I think at this point it went into 8 printings. So it's been making the rounds. So a lot of people, I'll come on a podcast and they'll see my face and they'll hear me be introduced as Folly Klein. And they're like, no, it's not. And it's like, yes, it is. I have 2 names, Folly Klein and Sippy Caton. They're both me.
Wow. What's the book about?
So when I got my cancer diagnosis at age 16, one of the things that I heard a lot was, don't worry, you'll get through this. You're going to forget this. All the hard things you go through in life, you forget about them. You're going to be okay. And I think I was in a stage of being a little bit rebellious, a little chutzpahdik, and I'm like, don't tell me what I'm going to forget. Also, it felt, when you get a diagnosis like that, it takes over your whole life. And I couldn't believe that something that was so big for me was going to disappear. And I felt like, no, if I'm going through this, there must be a reason why. Don't tell me, just get through it, get healthy, and then you'll forget about it. I'm like, life is precious. Every moment is precious. And I had a really special oncologist. He passed away right before the summer, Dr. Michael Harris. And he taught me this as well. I asked him, when is cancer going to be over? And he said, never. He says, it's never going to be over. Do you think there's ever going to be a day that you're not going to wake up and say Moda'ani with like extra gratitude? Because you never forget that you're a cancer survivor. Don't wait until the day you're declared in remission to start living your life. Your life starts right now.
Wow.
You don't know what's going to happen in an hour. You don't know what's going to happen in a minute. Live this moment. And so I was journaling the entire time that I was going through this. Remember, this is 22 years ago. So in the Jewish community, people didn't say the word cancer. They said yena machla or poo poo poo. That's what they would say a lot. And I was like, no, I'm going to go to school bald if that's what it takes. Like, you are going to look at me. This exists. Let's talk about this. So I wrote a diary really for myself. But then people in the community wanted to talk. And I was the one they were talking to, and I was 16. And I said, if everyone needs to talk, there needs to be more information available. So I took my diary and I published it in a book, and it became super famous.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I'm blown away. I don't even know if I can keep reading this. I'm like, I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, but please do, because it's so funny. Like, I'm so sick of the cancer story almost. Like, there's been a whole lifetime since then.
Yeah.
A certified hypnotherapist,
Yes.
intimacy
Certified.
counselor, and breathwork guide. She's basically the Swiss Army knife of healing, but cooler and with better stories.
The Swiss Army knife of healing.
All right?
I like
You
that.
like that tagline?
Yeah.
That's great.
You can take it.
I will.
So are you a hypnotherapist? Is
I
that
am.
really?
I am.
What is a hypnotherapist?
A hypnotherapist is somebody who uses the modality of hypnosis to facilitate growth, healing, change, transformation. I got into hypnotherapy when traditional therapy was having me up against the wall. I wasn't going anywhere. I think that when you're in talk therapy, you can only talk as much as what you're consciously aware of. And we many times talk ourselves into circles. Or, I don't know, if you have a friend that's going through something, we often find that their stories are repetitive. They'll just keep saying they're struggling with the same thing again and again. And I found that I wasn't getting where I needed to go, where I wanted to go. And I got introduced to hypnotherapy quite serendipitously, right? Miraculously. I said, I'll give it a shot, see what it does for me. I didn't even know at the time that it was therapeutic in nature. It just seemed fascinating. I wanted to be hypnotized. I wanted to know what it would do. And in one session, the anxiety that I had been struggling with, that I accepted as a fact of my reality, just dropped, like in intensity from, I would say, it went from 100 down to 25.
Nice.
And almost seamlessly, effortlessly, and it fascinated me. And I said, I think we're missing something. At the time, I was in school studying to become a forensic psychologist. That was my passion and mission. I was watching a lot of true crime shows. I wanted to work in Rikers. I wanted to work with criminals in the system. And I was facing this strange crossroads where I was realizing that the system is full of people who couldn't be helped. The system wasn't actually helping people. And then I discovered something alternative that the system wasn't really a big fan of. And I made the decision to drop out of college and just pursue what was really working in my life. So I went down the road of hypnotherapy, has been practicing. I'd been doing private practice for quite a few years, and really proud of what I was able to bring forth. When I first started practicing hypnotherapy, people were like, is it kosher? Is it Jewish?
Wow, nice,
Who's your
Sarah.
rabbi? Today, everyone's talking about it. It's like an accepted form. It's an accepted modality. People would also ask, like, does it work? That's the question I get most often. The answer I give most often is no. Always with a straight face. I always tell people it doesn't work. What they're really asking, though, is will it work for me? Because most of the people who come to a hypnotherapist, they're exhausted. They've gone to everyone else, right? They just want to know, like, am I wasting time with you, right? So I did that for a long time. And then I expanded based on the stuff that people were bringing forth in sessions. I realized there was so much more I wanted to learn. So hypnotherapy itself, you can go down a rabbit hole, right? There's hypnosis, there's hypnosis, hypnotherapy, regression, past life regression, spiritual regression. There's all of that kind of stuff, all the woo-woo stuff. Did it all. Then I went to school to become an intimacy counselor because of what was coming up in session. And people were struggling a lot in certain areas of their life that I wanted to know more of. And there, quite by accident again, discovered breathwork, fell in love, and I still do all of those things, but
As a Swiss Army knife.
as Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
And I'm not done. I'm not done. When people ask me what it is that I do, my kids, if you ask my kids, what does mommy do? They're like, we don't know. They have no idea. And if you ask my friends what I do, they say, don't ask Folly what she does because she'll never stop talking. And if you ask me what I do, I don't know because I do whatever I'm fascinated by and I'm not done learning and growing. Like if you have me back in a year, I'll probably be doing something new and cool.
I think a good answer for you, if you don't mind me saying, is you're growing. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always growing.
She's a
You're looking
grower.
for more, and you're looking to learn and adapt and give back.
Very
That's
much.
pretty amazing to hear. How long does it take for someone to get hypnotized? Can you do that on us in 2 minutes? Like, does that work?
People ask that a lot, and
We
there's-
have to.
there's
Run
a
out.
profit.
I was wondering, are we talking about the same hypnotizing that you see in shows and that you see in like in
the
Vegas?
question.
They always have like these shows where they
Yes, I get the question. I
bring
like
you
it.
up on the stage, and then this hypnosis. What's it called?
Yeah,
Hypnotist.
hypnotist.
The hypnotist goes and he snaps his finger or he grabs the arm and says sleep, and their head falls down. Is that what we're talking about?
No. So
For the record, by the way, that happened to us once.
I'm saying this because
I have to say that, yeah.
Michael, thank you for exposing that. But yeah, I was in Vegas once, and a
Ah.
friend dragged me to this show.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And out of the thousands of
They also dragged them to Vegas. By the way, så gewein du in New Jersey gewein a show, an adult show, hypnosis, years ago was something gegangen.
people in the audience, somehow I got called on, and they brought me up on stage with
will you
10 other
agree
people.
to this?
It happened so fast. It
Your
was
hand
like,
went up, though, right?
I was in a room with thousands of people,
Yeah.
and they came over. My hand was not up.
What?
Not at all. They came over, like they had a person in the stand that was calling on people, and they walked over to me and they said, "Come on stage." And I was like, "What?" I was so caught off guard. It just happened. So I just went on stage. Next thing I know, I'm there, and there's like 20 seats, and 20 of us were on stage. And this hypnotist guy was going to each of us, and that's what he did. He basically like grabbed my shoulder, and he's like, "Sleep." And I remember my head went down. I just don't remember if I was playing the part or if I really was hypnotized and I really fell asleep. I do know that I saw a video afterwards, which I've since burned. This video is not existing
We're gonna
anymore.
find it.
Yes, it does not exist anymore, so don't ask to see it.
We can just recreate it.
Yeah, he made me do stuff that apparently I did. And I'm quite embarrassed about it. But like, why did I do that at that moment? Was I really hypnotized, or was I just like peer pressure because I was on stage and like people were expecting me to do it? So I did. I don't remember the details, but that's my recollection of hypnosis.
Love that. But here we're talking about it as a modality, I
Yeah.
guess, right? It's something.
So it operates on the same principles, but those people give people like me a bad name. I mean, I love a good hypnosis show. Don't get me wrong. I will laugh with anybody else in the audience, but there's a key factor that people don't think about when you go to a hypnosis show. You're right. He's going to call 20 people on the stage, and then he's going to send 10 of them back off, because there's a part of you cannot be hypnotized against your will. So you're right. You were caught off guard, but some part of your will was there, right? If he would have told you to do something that you absolutely didn't want,
I wouldn't have done it.
right? If he would have said, "Go rob a bank," you would have been like, "I don't think that that's going to work for me."
Right.
So he's working on your sensibilities and he's testing. They're master manipulators, and
So they're like an illusionist in essence.
very much. And there's a fair amount of psychology in there. Like, we need to know that you're open and amenable. I have to say, Jews are really good at being hypnotized, especially from Jews who daven 3 times a day. Because davening, going into like a meditative trance state, we're so good at that.
I wouldn't think
we're
so,
great
though.
at it. Also, anyone who
I wouldn't think so. I mean, yeah,
lives in a system who's used to conforming, great at hypnosis.
family B.
Fantastic.
Hello and welcome.
I mean,
What
it's
happened?
not a bad thing. It's
What
just
happened, family?
something that a hypnotist will happen to pick up on.
A 10-year-old fell down 6 floors. Oh, Nisselberger.
And no,
Sorry.
like hypnotizing people in the Jewish world, very easy, versus if I go out somewhere else where there's a little more diversity, maybe a little bit more of a struggle. So I don't do that kind of hypnosis. I'll be honest with you, I probably stink at it. It's the easiest kind of hypnosis to do, and I probably would not be successful at it. I haven't tried, so I can't tell you, because I don't believe in it. I believe in dignity. I believe in promoting a person and making a person feel good, not making a person feel manipulated.
Yeah,
So-
I felt like I was degraded.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was a prop that he used for his show and to give everybody there a good time. And these guys probably, like you said, they're just like, it's the psychology behind it. They know that you're probably going to have certain boundaries that you won't go till, but these things you'll probably do. You'll conform and so forth. And that's probably what this whole show is about.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about your hypnosis. So what are you talking about? What do you do?
So what I do is, well, before I was in hypnosis, I was in advertising and marketing for about 6 years. So advertising is all hypnosis. Learning how to frame something to get you to want to buy it. I mean, you guys should know this, right? The way you frame something, the way you convince somebody without being overt about it, all the subliminal messaging and product placement, that is all a form of hypnosis. You have different parts of your mind operating at the same time. So you have your conscious mind. That's the mind that's thinking, that's planning, that's linear. But the most of your mind is not made up of your conscious mind. It's made up of your unconscious and subconscious minds. 3, right? We have unconscious, subconscious, and conscious. And I'm using, let's call it baby terms, like pseudoscientific terms, but it's what the majority of the people understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So the
Do more of that.
Yeah, okay, I will. The subconscious mind is in charge of like 90% of your functioning, 90% of your life. So there's a reason that when you drive home from work, you're not thinking of the route that you're taking, right? But you'll probably go down the same roads again and again. You don't have to think about it. That's your subconscious mind. That's your subconscious programming. If you can tap into your subconscious programming, you're going to have 90% of your brain backing the change you want to make versus your conscious mind, which is only 10% of the change you want to be making. So if you're going to therapy and you're like, I want to stop smoking, and you're doing that with 10% of your brain, great. But if 90% of your brain is not on board, then you're fighting a losing battle. So with hypnosis, what we get to do with hypnotherapy, and again, that's the difference between hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Hypnotherapy utilizes hypnosis in a therapeutic context where we get you to relax, to kind of, we don't get rid of your conscious mind. You're fully aware the whole time. You know what's happening. But we have like a dual stream of consciousness where we can bring both minds on board at the same time. And a skilled facilitator is going to use your conscious mind to help you navigate your subconscious mind. So people always, one of the common questions I would get when working with people is, will I remember? Will I be asleep? They really don't know. And I'm like, no, we are having a conversation. Your eyes will be closed most likely because it's going to be easier for you to tap into what's going on internally. You're not going to be as distracted by my facial expressions, by the room around you. But in case you don't believe me, I'll record the whole session. You know, and I always give that to people at the end. I'm no longer in private practice, but that's what I used to do. And they're always amazed. They're like, I didn't feel hypnotized. Like, did it work? I remember everything. And I would say, yeah, you're supposed to. But the key is that we get them into that open state where they're bringing forth patterns that got them stuck into this place to begin with. So it's very easy to say, I would like to stop smoking. It's another thing to be able to say, I know why I started smoking, because there was peer pressure. And to me, belonging. I always had anxiety about belonging, and that's what got me to start smoking. Like, do you think your body is going to want to give up smoking if you still have the same anxiety that got you into smoking to begin with?
Good point.
So if you have anxiety about belonging and you have peer pressure and you still have it today, 40 years later, your smoking is your lifeline. So you might know that it's very bad for your health, but your unconscious, your subconscious doesn't know that it's 40 years down the road. They still think that you're an awkward teenager in high school who wants to fit in. And they're not going to let you give up cigarettes so fast.
Right.
But in hypnotherapy, we can get there.
So what is hypnotic about it? It sounds very much like therapy.
It is therapy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's strictly therapy, though. Like the purity of what therapy does.
Yes.
Which is really gets into the deep subconscious of why you're behaving this way.
Correct.
And the only way to undo it is to go back to the roots, right? And cut it off at the roots. So, again, where does hypnosis, because if I would come to you as a hypnosis person, hypnotherapy, I keep forgetting what you're calling it. Whatever it is, and we would be doing what we're doing right now and having a conversation and speaking. By the time I left, I'd be like, so where was the hypnosis? Like, where was the trance you put me in? I would be expecting a pendulum to be swinging in front of me and to, like, you know, and I go into a trance and I don't remember it afterwards. Otherwise, it's just therapy, which is fine. We're big fans of therapy. I think therapy is great and it does a lot of wonders. But again, where is that line that we're crossing into hypnosis that's a specialty beyond just therapy?
Great question.
Yeah, I
So,
wanted to say, för det är ganska good. Det är good there.
couple of answers to
I
this.
like 'em.
Number one, yes, in a typical hypnotherapy session, you are going to have your eyes closed. We will start with an induction. We will get you into that trance state. So it has all of the hallmarks of we're going to count down, we're going to have you visualize. It's kind of like a guided meditation to get you in. You may feel some weird body sensations once you're in there, right? You may hit upon memories that in a million years you would never have thought to bring up to your therapist, right? Because the traditional thing that I'll have people come with is anxiety. We live in a world epidemic of anxiety.
Is that the most common thing people come to you for?
Probably, yeah.
Just general anxiety.
I think that today everybody, when something's not working well, people are like, I have anxiety. It's like, actually, you have a lot of other things. But yeah, let's talk about your anxiety first. So they'll say, well, I'm anxious because of A, B, and C. But then in hypnotherapy, they may actually bring up a story that is so, let's say, decades in the past, that they never would have thought, like, oh, that's where my anxiety actually began. Anxiety is a learned behavior. It's a learned coping mechanism, right? Babies don't have anxiety. Sometimes you'll see kids develop anxiety already early ages. Usually if a kid develops anxiety at an early age, we'll know why. We'll know what happened in the kid's life. Today especially, parents are hyper aware. But kids in general, they're awesome. They're free spirits. So when does anxiety begin? A kid struggling with anxiety doesn't often know enough to know that they're struggling with anxiety. They start dealing with it much later in life. But then you're peeling back
He's
layers and
listening,
layers
Penny,
and layers.
like we
it's
do.
trying,
We're
it's like trying to cut down a tree that's been growing for 100 years, and now it's dead. You know, it's ill. It's destroying your backyard. You have to get rid of it. But cutting down a tree is a very long process. Versus if you could time travel, if you can go back to when the tree was a seed and you can pull the seed out of the ground, and then you can come back here and the tree's gone, and there are no scars. So hypnotherapy is like time travel, really, because the subconscious mind doesn't know how old you are. It doesn't have a concept of time. It experiences everything as now. So wounding that has never had a chance to find closure, you're still struggling with that and you're not sure why, because in your brain, your conscious mind thinks, that was 10 years ago, that was 20 years ago. Your subconscious is like, this is still happening for me now. So it is therapy. And the second answer to your question is, when I was in college wanting to go to forensic psychology, the world of therapy 20 years ago did not at all look like the world of therapy looks today. So if I'm telling you things that you're like, this sounds familiar, this sounds like stuff that I would do at any workshop or in a therapist's office these days, yeah, these days. But 20 years ago, that is not at all what therapy looked like. It was much colder. It was much more clinical. It was much more straightforward. Talk.
Right.
Just talk. But if you research and if you go back to Freud
Penny, I get the fear. Meaning, a mensen hebben die fear.
and Jung and the founders of modern day therapy and psychology, they practice what is more aligned with hypnosis or hypnotherapy.
So there's more synergy now between
Yeah.
the two than ever,
Yes.
which is why they can be conflated with each other.
Correct.
Because they really are, in a lot of ways, very, very similar.
Yeah.
And what's this breath work that is a part of this hypnotherapy? Is that included in hypnotherapy, or is that separate?
That is separate.
That's a separate thing.
Yep.
So before we get to the breath work, I want to go back to this hypnotherapy. 'Cause I have to tell you, I've been told for so many years, I was a huge smoker for many
Okay.
years. 2 packs a day. Okay. Today, I'm still smoking, but more casually. I'm not smoking, I am vaping all the time.
Yeah.
So I am addicted to my vape. Like really addicted to it. Like I need to have it in my hands at all times.
You're
Like,
sitting on it now.
I'm sitting. You see it? It's next to me.
I've been noticing.
I know where it is.
Yeah, okay. So over the cell phone. Maar wij spinkelen wie says at all times.
To be present amongst me, has to be within arm's reach, arm's length. Now, I've been told by people, go to a hypnotherapist. Like they can knock this out of you. And I was always skeptical. I still am. I don't believe anybody has the magic wand to just make it go away. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot.
They're not making it go away. They're putting you into a place where your abilities is weggeworfen.
Of work, and I don't know if I'm prepared to do that kind of work. And quite frankly, I like my smoking. I need it. I think it's it helps me. Okay, so I've been told go to a hypnotherapist. They'll it works. They've done it. Many people have gone off it. People told me to read this book. What was this famous book about
Stop smoking,
Michael, the famous book.
I know what you're talking about.
The Alan Carr book. What's it called? The famous smoking book.
Stefan can help
You know
us.
the book I'm talking about. They sold millions and millions of copies. One of the most famous books for people, and people swear by it. They read the book
But you
and they
didn't
stopped
read the
smoking.
book.
And they stopped smoking. It's a real thing. And I read the book.
Oh, did you?
I read the book.
And you didn't stop smoking?
You better believe I read it. I smoked an extra pack the next day.
Did you read the whole book?
It did the opposite effect on me. I read the whole book.
Do you have dyslexia?
No.
I'm just teasing you.
No, I read the whole book. It didn't work on me. So I'm willing to try anything. So if I were to come to you as for hypnotherapy, what would that look like? What would you start? I understand it's probably hours and hours of a session, I imagine. Right. How long is a typical session with some?
Every hypnotherapist is going to facilitate differently. I have found that my sweet spot is a 90-minute session.
90 minutes?
Yeah.
But it's a one time. You don't have to come back again and again.
It's not like therapy where you'd be coming back on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But I would say think about a couple of sessions.
Couple sessions, 90 minutes each.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The problem is, wenn einer... Das ist kein Problem. My question is, wenn einer hat a power that's gelernt wie so hypnosed, how do you know if she's not manipulating the people around her?
Now, what would you frame those sessions around for? Have you gotten people with smoking addictions that have come to you?
So, it's funny. The two main things that hypnosis is known for is smoking and weight release.
Right.
And I'm just like, please don't come to me for any of those. Do I look like somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to smoking or losing weight? Like I'm 100 pounds, you know? I have worked with people who've had some sort of addiction. Smoking, I'm trying to remember if I ever worked with a smoker.
Would it matter though? Like
it wouldn't.
All right. You could technically.
Yeah, I think
aren't there the same like mechanics? Of
I'm comfortable with stepping away and you guys having
the
a
conversation.
She's
session
never
just
done
for
it
that.
before. She said
Right.
she's
No,
never done so much.
I've worked with other addictions. I've worked with alcohol addictions. I've worked with sex addictions.
Let's go with alcohol for a moment. Let's go with that. I can consider myself an alcoholic too. I don't drink.
Invite me next time.
I don't drink it crazy about over the weekends. I'm a weekend drinker.
Okay.
Sie had a topical humor.
But I drink a fair
That means
amount.
half the Jews are alcoholics.
I think so, by the way. I think most Jews are alcoholics. Let's be
During
honest.
the week and we drink during the weekends.
What's that?
We smoke during the week and we drink during the weekends.
I have it all figured out.
All figured out.
It's the perfect system. And it's been working for me for many years, you know, and I quite frankly, I don't want to give it up. I feel like
Why should you?
I look forward to my weekends. So I'm a drinker and I'm probably going a little bit overboard and I want to stop or I want to totally cut it out. So I come to you and let's have a session. Mm-hmm. Let's practice for a few minutes. Just like, what are some of those qualifying things you'll do with me?
The first thing I need to know is, why are you here? Like, if you're here because your wife wants you to stop smoking, go home.
Fair.
Just go home.
Fair.
I can't work on something.
Is she go home to his wife?
That's why I chose not to work with children or teenagers, even though they are phenomenal at this work. Their minds are so open as it is, but I just felt that they're not
forced.
They're not coming here because they want to be here. Their buy-in is not as high.
Right.
So if someone says, no, I need to do this. And remember, most of the time when they're coming to me, it's because they've already tried everything else, which means that they've already been willing to put in they have motivation, they have effort, but something isn't sticking. So if someone's saying, well, I don't know, I just heard that it's cool and I want to try it, don't come to me. Don't come to me because I want to know that your willpower is there. I want to know that your motivation is there. We're writing that.
Okay.
We're facilitating to find what's that stopping point. What's that place that you can't get past? So someone like you, you're probably not a good candidate. You don't want it right now, right? And that's fine.
Right.
I think we all need our healthy dosage of distraction and addiction, whatever it is,
Shabbos.
right?
And
I don't think
good
that every
weekend.
vice is an addiction. I think we all have. Some people just watch TV. That's their thing. Anything can be. That's fine. What we would do is if once I establish that your willpower is in, your motivation is in, I would likely add something to it. Like if I could get you to stop smoking, what else would you have? That's important. Like why do you want to stop?
I want to be healthy.
All right. How important is your health? Tell me about your health. Why is that so important to you?
Well, living is the most important thing.
Why? What is it about life? And I know it sounds like a dumb question, but tell me more.
Yeah, I'm scared of dying.
Okay.
I didn't know what's going on the other side, so I feel like right now it's better to be here. So I want to live. I also want my kids
That's a
to
good
be.
motivator.
Yeah, I want my kids to have me around as long as possible. I shudder to think what, God forbid, any kid, his life would look like.
So so funny. I can sagen dir alle Sachen, and it means everything, but yet he doesn't stop. Knowingly as a hargetam.
Life would look like without a parent. I would never want a kid to go through that, and that's very scary.
So that would be my second step, right? Establishing your desire to change. What are your motivating factors? Your motivating factors are really important because if I take away the cigarette from you, what am I putting in its place?
Yeah.
More fatherhood, more amazing moments with your kid, health, great life.
Right.
Right.
But I know all this already.
You know it, but I don't know it because I'm your facilitator. I don't know that about you.
You know what? I don't know if I've ever said that out loud. I think that a lot of that is living in my subconscious. Like right now, you're pulling this out. I'm hearing myself speak about what it is that I'm looking for instead of the cigarette. But
Right. Hearing yourself say that out loud, I know it sounds almost like this is dumb. This is obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never said it out loud. And
Right.
you know that the best person to hypnotize you is yourself because your brain believes your voice more than it believes anybody else's voice.
Of course.
Your brain hears
I trust myself.
Right. And your brain hears your voice more than anyone else's voice that it hears. And if you're telling yourself all day, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I can't accomplish this, I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're hypnotizing yourself all day long. So when you can articulate your desire It's not enough to just know it. Say it out loud. Let your own ears hear it. That's important. And then you just clued me in. So when I'm going to hypnotize you, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into a hypnotic state, get you super relaxed, get you nice and open. Do you have to be relaxed in order to be hypnotized? You do not. Common misconception. I hypnotize people with their eyes open all the time who are super tense, but it's nice when they can relax. And then we'll usually do something called a regression. There are so many different facilitations that I can do, right? I can actually have you have a conversation with a cigarette. A lot of that kind of work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Talking about stopping while over a cigarette.
Yeah, well, you know,
that'd be
have a
fantastic.
even in your mind, holding up the vape, having a conversation with the vape. There's so many cool facilitations we can do. Regression is part of them. Regression would mean time travel. Let's go back in time. Let's find out. Like I would tell you also, you know that feeling right before you need to grab a smoke, right before you have to hit it.
Yeah.
Hold on to that feeling.
Yeah.
At what level? You know, scale of 1 to 10. How do you feel?
It's powerful.
It's powerful.
It's very strong.
Yeah. So if you were like a scale 6, I would be like, amp it up, get it up to an 8, get it up to a 9. I want you feeling it.
I'm there right now.
Great.
I'm at an 8 right now.
Fantastic. I would take that feeling and I would have you
at
use
8
that
right
feeling
now.
as an anchor to go back to the first time in your life that feeling ever showed up for you. Again, talking about this from our conscious minds is one thing, but when you're in that super relaxed state, you may get a memory just pop to the surface and it may not be something that you expect.
I'm remembering now the very first time I smoked a cigarette. That's what's coming up for me right now.
Right.
I don't remember the first time, the feeling of needing that cigarette. I was about to light it up. Like,
That's not the
I'm
memory
getting now.
for you.
I remember now the first time ever that I picked up a cigarette and I smoked. I remember who I was with. I remember where I was. I remember everything. Oh God, I remember the room that I was in. I remember where the 2 beds were. It was in a bedroom, and there was like 5 of us in the room. I remember sitting on the bed, and I remember one person passing it around to everybody. I remember the entire scene. It's crazy.
And what stands out most to you about that whole scene from like an emotional place? Like, what's the feeling in that room?
The feeling was exploring.
Yeah, I figured that. I figured that's
doing
heavy.
something rebellious, but doing it with other people. So feeling like it's okay because other people are doing it as well with me. And I was young. I was probably 15 or 16 years old at the time. And I remember the people that were with me in the room, most of whom I have nothing to do with anymore. But I remember the whole thing. I remember everything.
So our next step, if this was a real session, is I would get as much detail as possible about the room. I would get as much detail as possible about you at that age, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, why this room is important, why these people are important, why this decision is important. That would be just one stop on the journey, right? After that, when I feel, as the facilitator, that I've gotten as much as I need from this room, I would probably take you to another place. I would ask you, go back to that feeling of wanting a cigarette.
It's coming to me now.
Go for it.
It's coming
Are
to
you
me.
enjoying this, Michael?
Oh my
Loving
goodness.
it. He knows I'm loving it.
No.
You know
It's
that I
really
don't-
coming to me.
I don't see private clients anymore. I do so much beyond hypnosis. This is not where I thought this conversation is going to go, and I'm having a fabulous time. Keep going.
So I remember the first time I bought my first pack. I guess that was the moment that I felt like I needed it. It was in Brooklyn, in Borough Park. Not Borough Park. It was like
Kensington. I know where the train
slash
is.
Borough Park,
Yeah.
like in the middle over there. But 18th Avenue.
I know, 18th
Welcome
Avenue,
to
by
18th
Kensington. With
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it in my mind as you're talking.
And I smoked my first
Near
cigarette.
Mendelssohn's Pizza,
Yes. Yeah, but a little further down towards the park. You know where the park.
by Avenue F.
Avenue F and
I don't
East.
remember the avenues anymore. It's so long ago.
Yeah.
By
okay.
But I remember
McDonald's,
the park. There was this park there, and I bought the pack from a gas station. I don't remember where I bought it from.
No,
At
because
a convenience-
there's a known bodega over there.
a convenience store. I must have bought it from there.
We're
Yeah.
the same age.
I bought it
Yeah.
by myself. I was on my own. This was after the trip, and I experienced it, and I'm like, okay, now I need to buy a pack, I guess. I guess that's the next appropriate thing to do. And I went to the park. It was at night, and I lit it up, and I smoked it by myself. That was. I remember standing there in the park. I remember the park looks. I don't remember much else around it. But I guess that was the very first time I felt like I need to smoke now. I'm a smoker, I guess. And I was like 17 years old or something like that at the time.
So you just said something to me that's really interesting. You just went to, I'm a smoker.
Yeah.
I guess. And you said that with, I don't know if you heard it, the way he enunciated those
Vigor.
words. Like, I'm a smoker.
I'm saying it now with regret.
Yes, but
I'm saying it now in a way of like, unfortunately, I guess.
No,
I'm a
no,
smoker.
no,
That's
no.
not how you said
no.
that.
No, I don't think that's how it is.
No, jeg setter det sånn jeg skal sagt opp.
it's a moment of like,
Of excitement.
I'm a smoker.
Yeah, I had something new in my life.
Yes.
I had something new and something exciting, a new definition and something to look forward to, I guess. Just another ancillary thing that I brought into my life.
Yeah, except it didn't say, when you said I'm a smoker, it wasn't ancillary. It was an identity.
Yeah,
I'm a smoker.
right.
And you're describing an age that I can only assume a lot of kids around that age, they struggle with
Yeah.
identity. I don't know who I am. I don't know where I belong. I don't know how I identify myself with. I remember being 15 and our high school principal came into the room, into our class, talking about SATs. And I remember having this moment of panic, being like, I have to take my SATs. I am a child. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. How does everybody know what they want to go to college for? Like, I'm supposed to decide that now? I remember having that crisis at 15. And to be 15 and say, but I know what I am. I'm a smoker. There's a moment there. So again, I'm just making an assumption
Yeah.
in a
I don't remember if exactly that's how it was, but
You just said
it
something.
makes sense. I have no reason to
Yeah.
object to it.
So the thing is, when you say, I don't know for sure if that's how it was. So remember, your subconscious mind does not understand linear time. It takes a bunch of different moments and kind of hodgepodge, I don't know, puts them together, and they create like this new belief system or this new image of you. It's not one moment in time. So in a hypnosis session, I would take you probably to anywhere between 3 and 5 moments in time. So you just gave me 2 of them: the bedroom with your friends, buying the pack on your own, having this moment.
I guess at the Motorov kicked cigarettes, you know, they looked up the cigarettes at them gemacht for your tata. So, we will nicht an tata.
I'm a smoker now, right? And I would probably just without making any assumptions, I would probably be taking notes. Like when you said I'm a smoker now, I probably would have written those words down and circled them and being like, this is a piece. Probably would have asked you a couple of questions, trying to get to more on it. There's a belief system there. What were you struggling with? What do you mean like, I'm a smoker now? There's so many other things.
I wasn't happy in yeshiva.
There you go. I knew this was coming.
I wasn't happy. I remember that.
Oh,
I remember
that's good.
where I was at like 17. It was like my 4th or 5th yeshiva that I was in, and I didn't want to be there anymore. I just wanted to get out of the system entirely, which I did, by the way. At the end, like 17, I actually got out, and that's when I ultimately ended up by Levitan's, where my life completely changed and transformed for the better. Give Rabbi Levitan a lot of credit. He really got me going, but I was struggling then. I guess that was, for me, my new friend. I was very isolated then, I remember, because I wasn't like the other boys in yeshiva. I was very different, and I just didn't feel like I belonged, and I guess I needed that new companion, and that was my companion. That was my safe spot.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. Of course, you don't want to give that up. That has been with you. It's been your best friend since you were 15.
It's all I know. It's one of my longest companions I've had.
Right. That would be a terrible thing. Imagine taking your best friend who's been with you since childhood, who came and saved your life at one of the most difficult lost periods.
He was there for me.
He was there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine taking your best friend and being like, I'm done with you now. That would be a terrible thing to do to your best friend.
I'm not that kind of person.
No, you're not.
I'm not disloyal.
Right. So we would have to find, now that we've
This is funny.
established that, we would create a whole new relationship to the cigarette. What we would probably do is we would redefine the cigarette, because what we now know the cigarette or smoking is not, it's not about smoking. It's about identity. It's about belonging, right? It's about being safe. All of those things. All of a sudden, the cigarette or the vape might take on a new appearance. It might not look like a cigarette anymore. It might not look like a vape. It might look like the job you have right now or the car that you love. I don't know. You probably in your adult life have certain things that give you that kind of pleasure, right? Like, you know, your spouse or your kids, you probably can look into the eyes. You said, right, go back to the beginning of the session. I can't believe we're doing a live session on air.
Are you billing me after this?
I should.
It sounds like
Michael,
it.
can
Yeah.
we get Prime Stores, please, to sponsor this?
By the way, I would pay for this. Literally, I feel like
I
honored
did
to
not
be
see
here.
this going this direction either, by the way.
neither.
I had no idea.
I still don't even know your background, which I'm dying to know now. Even
Sure.
more.
This is great.
But keep going. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I
keep
would do right
going.
now is, you mentioned you have a daughter, right?
Yes, I have 2 daughters.
Yeah. So I would say, I want you to imagine your daughters, right? I don't know if you have sons.
I have 1.
But it was funny because when you said my kids and you said he, and then you right away jumped to she, which tells me that there's at least one of the 2 daughters that you have something special about. And you don't have to say that live on air because your kids don't have to know which one. But there's something about your daughters.
Everybody's
right?
got a favorite.
I know I have a couple of kids myself, and I love them all. I love them all equally, but differently. So just putting that on air. But the one that you were thinking about, you have the cigarette in one hand at 17, and at your age right now, you're looking at your daughters and son, and they give you that same sense of belonging. They give you that same sense of purpose.
Finde usually, wenn einer hat struggled mit food, kann sein, dass es an emotional Sache, you know? Like an emotional, when you feel down, geht man essen, it makes them feel good, you know?
Mission. I am a father. I'm
Alles
not just
geht.
a father.
Absolutely.
Hello
I'm
and
your
welcome.
father, right? And all of a sudden, you can hold them both in both hands and realize the cigarette isn't the cigarette anymore.
Good
It's not
native
about the
Shabbos, how you
cigarette.
doing?
It's about the fulfillment. It's about the purpose. And there's another thing.
Kerstin hat sowieso gesucht wegen der cigarette. Whenever you want to take a cigarette, you hold that feeling in for longer. Das kannst du team mit food, and then you can recognize for wo du bekommst das.
Again, this is not going to be something that I would do here because we're not in that state. But sometimes in the state, I'll say, if you're holding the cigarette in your hand, which we now know is not a cigarette, it's your best friend, right? I want you to imagine you can ask the best friend, how old do you think I am? And just wait for a response. And without fail, I think in 99.9% of the times, the answer that the cigarette or addiction or problem, anxiety, will give is, I don't know, you're 7? You're 17? And it's like, no, I'm not. But your subconscious mind doesn't know that. The crutch that you've been holding on to, who thinks he's saving your life, doesn't know. And we can educate the cigarette and say, you know, I'm not 17 anymore. I'm close to 40, right? And you know what else I have? I'm not in a yeshiva that I'm unhappy in. I'm a father. I have a really successful life. Look, these are my daughters. And you get your cigarette to meet your daughters. And all the belonging that I was searching for at 17, I have it now. Do you see how they look at me? Do you see how they love me? And there's a moment there where that transfers over, where the cigarette realizes, you know, you're safe now. You have that. You don't need.
You're transferring the pain and the need from whatever the cigarette hat gegeben zu andere Sachen.
Me that way anymore. And then I would probably ask you, again, we're condensing this super quickly. I would let you come to those conclusions on your own. I wouldn't give them to you. But if I ask you just right now, remember that feeling that I had you tap into, the needing to smoke? Is it still there?
You're not going to believe me. Slightly less.
Yeah, I am going to believe
Yes,
you.
of
'cause I know.
course.
Slightly less. As you're talking, I'm almost like upset at this cigarette. Like the cigarette is betraying me. And we had a relationship.
You did. And the thing is, though, that the
That
cigarette
is
is still in a
good.
relationship with you.
Because I'm not a child anymore.
You're not.
I am not that same 17.
But you are.
No, but you still have a relationship.
But you are. You are 17 somewhere. in that setting, in that brain.
Relationship with the cigarette. Because imagine if what the cigarette wanted was for you to be safe.
Cool.
To feel like you had a mission
cool.
and purpose. The cigarette still wants that for you.
Yep.
Now that the cigarette knows that your mission and purpose is your kids, the cigarette says, okay, how much energy a day? How much money? Right? How many puffs? How many breaths of air were you giving that cigarette a day? The vape a day. And now the vape knows that you have a better place to put all of that air, all of that money, all of that attention.
Penny, that's something you need to, figure out. Something you need to investigate.
And the cigarette says, let me help you. I've only ever wanted to help you. Let's take every breath of air that you ever gave me into saying I love you to your kid.
Ooh.
Right? So yeah, the dial is going to go down. And like I said, my first session of hypnosis, it took my anxiety from like 100 down to whatever, 30, 25. It took, it didn't happen in one session. But if I could get a smoker's dial down from a 10 down to a 6, that's
a win.
That's a huge win. And then you'll come back for another session in a month or something
Fally,
like that. Yeah.
Can you please stop stripping me of my friends? I don't want to bring alcohol into this equation because I'm not ready to give him up just yet. Okay, he's very important to me.
My alcohol's a her, but okay. Do not tell me that tequila is not a woman.
I don't know, is it?
I mean,
what kind of women tendencies does? By the way, tequila is probably one of the more popular go-to alcoholic drinks today amongst the masses. I think it's a universally drank.
Mostly because Costco came out with a cheap version that is excellent.
Every brand is excellent. I think tequila is one of those drinks that, I mean, it's a little, better than others, but they're all.
I feel like she got some skeletons in her closet.
Like vodka also. Vodka is very palatable no matter what kind of vodka it is.
I'm going to stick with what I know.
Except the Pesach vodka. That's horrendous. You ever had the Pesach vodka?
I'm not a
It's
vodka
potato.
drinker.
Oh, God.
Someone taught me something really cool. He said, when you go to a party, just say, I want the most expensive drink. I don't care what it is. Scotch, bourbon, tequila, vodka. Just give me the one that's the priciest one. I want to try that.
I don't know. I'm not such a like alcohol snob.
I don't really care what it is.
Drink pretty much anything. But there are people that are really fine-tuned when it comes to like certain alcohol. Like they can taste the difference. And they also like I have a brother-in-law. He savors every sip of like the scotch or the bourbon. I'm like, I just down it. I'm like, how are you enjoying that? But some people are very strong.
I do like what you said, though, that you're not an alcoholic if you're drinking on Shabbos. It's a
You
vice.
are.
It's an escape.
Yeah.
You are an alcoholic. Du bist nur a controlled alcoholic. Matthew, hello and welcome.
It's on parties, events, and weekends typically.
So remember that when we started this conversation, I teased you by saying, well, the cigarette and the alcohol are just a continuation of the same spectrum. Now that we turned your cigarette dial down, I wonder what would happen automatically with the alcohol. Very often they're called comorbidities. They happen together, right? An addiction is an addiction. An escape is an escape. Sometimes we're escaping from the same thing, right? It's not only about the smoking. It's about what we're escaping from, what we need. Alcohol makes a lot of sense. If you're looking for belonging or you're feeling not so safe in a social environment, alcohol takes the edge away. The minute we have that, the minute we've anchored into your daughters, your purpose, your reason for being, you may not feel that the next time you're at a social event.
Yeah.
Now, again, I'm not against drinking. I'm not against even smoking casually. But imagine if it didn't control you.
Right.
You can still have the vape in your pocket, but you no longer need to know where it is every second of the day.
Dial it down a
Dial
little
it
bit.
down.
That's it. Yeah.
And not only that, even if you dial it up, you're now in control of the dial in a way that you weren't before.
Correct. At least I have awareness. I know what the story here is. I'm writing it, not someone.
You're going to text me within the next 2 weeks being like, what have you done?
Really? I love it. By the way, I have to say, Fally, it goes back to my initial point that I was making. I feel like this was therapy.
It is.
It's a fancy word, hypnosis, that you're adding into it.
Hypnotherapy.
It's hypnotherapy. But a good therapist should be doing this, unpacking it for you in a certain way to understand where this trauma originated from and why you chose to go down that path. Right? That's what a therapist really does.
Yeah, but believe it or not, the word trauma is a buzzword today. It wasn't 20 years ago when I was in college.
Yeah.
Like almost, I think I went through my whole, I don't know, quite a chunk of college without ever, you know what? When I was 21 years old, I wrote my second novel. And
Second novel?
Yeah.
You wrote a novel?
I wrote 3.
3 novels?
My first is Miracle Ride, the book on
What genre?
I don't know, whatever I was in the mood of writing that.
It was like fantasy or like
No, so my
science
second,
fiction?
My second novel is the one that no one ever heard of. It's called Invisible Me. And I wanted a challenge. I wanted to tell a story from the perspective of someone who couldn't tell a story. So the main character is a selective mute. She doesn't speak. So I spent 4 months.
The problem is mit Menschen, die trinken nur Shabbos und sie sagen, no, ich bin nicht kein Alkoholik. Das ist just a Terre zu trinken. Warum trinkst du jede Shabbos? See what I'm saying? Bist a controlled alcoholic. That's it.
Being a selective mute, just not speaking.
You got into character.
I got into character. My husband loved it.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. And I didn't intend to do it. It was just, I got so absorbed in the main character, not speaking, that for hours after writing every day, I just felt like I couldn't talk because I was so in her mind. So she's the narrator of the story. She's telling the story, but she's locked. She can't speak. And she got this way because of trauma. She went through something that basically shut her down and she couldn't speak after.
So she wasn't born a mute.
Right, it's called selective mute. She's capable of speaking. There's nothing wrong with her, but it's an anxiety disorder. And I studied this. I went crazy for like a couple of months and dug up everything. I had 2 selective mutes that I knew growing up. So I already was exposed to this concept and I was very fascinated by it. And I was in college at the time. I was studying psychology, so I wanted to know more. And I wrote a novel from the perspective of a selective mute. And again, she was selectively mute due to trauma. I think in the entire manuscript, in the entire book, I don't think that the word trauma appears ever. I think recently I searched because I had said it to somebody and I said, I actually have to go and check. Maybe it's there once, maybe it's there twice.
Crazy.
Imagine writing a book like that today.
It's impossible.
Without the word trauma.
I mean,
on every other page.
Yeah, today we're so cognitive of what traumas are and what it's capable of.
Right.
It's so vast today. It's out there. I think therapy, and we've said this before in the podcast, Michael, is much more acceptable. People are more receptive to it today than they ever were. Like our parents, grandparents were almost embarrassed if they had a family member in therapy and like, oh, don't tell anybody.
Right.
It was like a secret, but now it's like you're not sending your kid to therapy for something. Like, why not? Like, especially if there's something slightly wrong, grab the bull by the horns, take care of what it is, get ahead of it. Prevention over treatment, get ahead of it. But let me shift gears.
Going back to your question,
Yeah.
you're saying that this feels like therapy to you.
Yeah.
Yes, but 20 years ago when I was in college,
This wasn't
therapy.
This was an anomaly.
For me, watching the
It was a fancy word. It was hypnosis.
Yeah, but watching the progression of what therapy has become, I'm like, you realize that these techniques that I've been practicing for years that once upon a time were known as hypnotherapy
Right.
is now making its way into mainstream therapy, which is
Could it be that therapy also became much more advanced because more people started opening up? So there was
Usually.
more data coming in and we're able to analyze things more. And therefore the therapy, the remedies started also improving because now we see what is really going on. And it's just become much more dialogue around
More
it.
dialogue.
There's more dialogue around it than ever. So now we're becoming more sophisticated
But
in
it's
what to
good.
do.
there's more dialogue and there's something else.
Die Conversation braucht noch nicht gewinnt, wenn zwei Menschen hacken heran. So it's very good.
Not just that we're another generation.
This is a gehirige session, though, by the way.
Right? I'm noticing that today, a lot of therapists, not used to be therapists, it's their second career. So when I was a kid, you graduated high school and you had to decide what you were going to do for college. Advanced learners, people that were going back to college later in life for either their second degree or even for their first degree. You're seeing a lot more of that today. Women in their 50s, right, who have already married off their kids, they have grandchildren, and they're empty nesting, and they're like, I think I should go to school. So
Yeah.
you're seeing a whole new wave of therapists that are only starting at a later age in life when they have more embodied wisdom.
Yes.
They're coming in, not from academia, which again, if you're 22 years old and you're studying to become a social worker, that's awesome. But what life experience do you have to back that up?
Exactly.
Today, the therapists with much more life experience, they're much more colorful. They've raised kids. They've sang, Shema with these kids. Like it's
Yeah.
different. They're bringing in something new into the therapy
Love
room.
it, love it.
There's more there.
Any Jewish sources for the hypnotherapy concept? Is there a place for this in the religion that we could trace back to and say that this was something that was done, that's common, or just like a new thing for everybody, including Jews? Like it's not anything pertaining specifically to us.
I like what Shlomo HaMelech says, the Ein Chadash Tachas Hashemesh, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just new ways of talking about old things. I mean, I think that I don't have a source, but as you're talking, I'm like, well, what about Shema? It says, like Chol Meodecha, Alav Avecha. So we're talking about your heart. We're talking about your
mind.
head. You're talking about your heart,
Yeah.
right? You're talking about your money. It's all in Shema. So your money is your energy, right? What do you spend
So the money.
your money on? What do you give?
What do you value?
What do you value? So we're talking about your heart, your mind, your values. So isn't God telling you, serve me? And me is not this person in the sky. It's serve creation, serve creator, serve alignment of and to and with all things, with every part of your being. And so isn't that what we do?
Absolutely.
We're bringing your heart, your mind, your
Yeah.
soul, your values, all of this on board.
Fascinating.
So-
you know that we're going to get to this breathwork thing because
Yeah, please.
I've heard a lot about it. We all have. We all have that friend who's bragging. I did breathwork. I did it. I'm like, well, go away. Nobody cares. And we say it because we've never done it, so we don't care. I've never done it. So I would, dismiss someone who came to me and said they did it.
Do it, yeah.
Here's the question: what the heck is breathwork? What is it really? And get ready to give me a session because so far I'm
No, I
one
think
for
it's
one.
Michael's turn.
I'm ready to go 2 for 2. Go ahead.
What is breath work? So breath work is something that you're already doing your whole life. You're already breathing. You're already very good at it. Breath work is a way to utilize your breath mindfully to get you to where you want to go, to achieve optimal states of health, well-being, mental wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness. To me, I don't have an elevator pitch for what breathwork is, which is ironic because in this community, I've probably been doing it one of the longest. Again, before breathwork was a buzzword, I started with breathwork in 2017. That was like, when I said I did breathwork, people are like, I'm already breathing.
Already breathing. Wir haben geredet zu Chassidim. A viele Sachen wird ein Buzzword, kann man es noch tun. Du Menschen, was tun, ist Sachen, weil sie geworden ein ganzer Style. If it's good for you, do it.
Why do I have to pay you for that?
Yeah.
Right.
And what's the connection between
Yeah.
breathing and mental health and between, getting better emotionally? How does that correlate with me breathing more or less? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
Right. So the way my elevator pitch for breathwork is that it's another way of saying the word diet. And if you've ever been on a diet, you will know that diets are not just about losing weight. They're about being mindful about what you put into your mouth, what you put into your body. And there's no one diet. There's many diets. What do you want to achieve? If you tell me what you want to achieve, we'll create a diet, especially for your kind of blood type, your weight. Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain weight? Do you want to muscle up? Right? Breathwork is the same thing. So most people have a very narrow view of breathwork. They're like, I went to this thing and there was music and I cried. And there was screaming in the room. And I'm like,
and I cried.
Yay.
Sounds like madness. Sounds like a bunch of.
If you want to try that, I can get you to do that.
Yeah.
I can easily.
I mean, it sounds like a good activity to do recreationally once in a while. Yeah.
Right. That's not what breathwork is. It's what it could be, right? But there's so many utilizations for breathwork. I teach I actually teach 2 trainings. I teach a hypnotherapy training where I license facilitators in hypnotherapy, and I teach a breathwork training. Both of them are year-long.
So you're now training trainers?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So when I see people who do breathwork in the world today, it's like, okay, what was your training? There are people who took breathwork for 3 days, and they're like, I'm a breathwork facilitator. I trained for 3 days. My students train for over a year. So again, what does breathwork mean? Depends who you ask, depends what you're hoping to do. So when you asked about how does it pertain to health, like what does it mean about all of these things? So I'll give you a really, really good piece that I think explains it for a lot of people. Mel Gibson. Okay. When I was 16, The Passion of the Christ came out. And everybody was talking about The Passion of the Christ because, we're Jews, so we worry about these things.
It was very political.
Very political. Like, do we have to worry about pogroms, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I didn't watch The Passion of the Christ, but I remember people talking about it. And I remember an interview that Mel Gibson gave very shortly thereafter when he won a lot of awards. And people had asked him for his secret to like being an amazing actor. And he said, I don't have a secret. I'm not acting. He said,
was he in the movie?
I think
he directed.
He directed it.
Yeah, Jim Caviezel. I can't pronounce his last name. He was the main actor. But Mel is an amazing actor in general.
Yeah. And you know that for years I doubted myself. I'm like, did I really hear Mel say that, or I just made that up? Hypnotic recollections, right? So about a month ago or 2 months ago, I went and YouTubed this. I'm like, did Mel Gibson ever say this? I found it. I found the clip where he says it. So it was him, and he said, I'm not acting. I'm not acting. He says, if you notice, every emotion has a certain breath attached to it. Right? People who are crying very often go, right?
Yes, shortness of breath.
There's a hiccup there, right? If you do this enough, your heart's going to start racing, right? And then laughter is the opposite, right?
It's outwards.
Right? It's the opposite, right? Fear is, and then they hold it. There's an in and freeze. There's almost no breath. Joy or laughter is, well, it's not laughter, it's joy. It's like, it's the sigh, it's this ease. So that's what joy is. So he says, if you know that every emotion has a different breath, reverse engineer this. So on a scene where fear is called for, we're going to breathe like we're afraid.
Very interesting.
Within 5 minutes, everybody is sweating and their hearts are pounding. And we have everybody in the room in the middle of a panic attack. And then we read our lines and we're not acting. We are really scared. Like you can see the sweat beating on their brow. And I heard that at 16 and it's always stayed with me. So what breathwork is a way to use our breath mindfully to accomplish pretty much any state in the body. So most of the people who talk about breathwork talk about it in like trauma release experience. That's what it's most known for. So we'll get you breathing in a certain way. We're going to use very specific music. Putting together the music playlist for a breathwork session is an art in and of itself. We get you breathing a certain way and at a certain pace. And very shortly thereafter, like within 7 to 10 minutes, you're bringing up memories, you're crying about things that you didn't know you can cry about, you're laughing about, you're just generating emotions that have been stuck in your system for decades. I mean, I'll give you something crazy because you're looking at me like, what does this mean? With women, very often, I will have women go into labor. They're not pregnant, but they're going to feel contractions. Very often, these women have had epidurals. So they're in the middle of a natural cyclical process in their body where their body is giving them pain and contractions because they're cycling them through a process. They gave themselves an epidural, which basically numbed out that process. Great, I'm all for pain relief, whatever it is that you need to do. The problem is that pain has a purpose. It's supposed to get you through to the other end of that cycle. If you numbed out the pain, there's a part of your brain that never got the message that cycle has completed. So there's an open cycle left. Trauma works in cycles. When people are going to therapy, when people are going for healing, what's happening is that there's a cycle that hasn't reached completion. They're hoping that the therapist can bring them to completion. In breathwork, it's the same thing. So we'll have people spontaneously bring up these open cycles. For many women, epidurals mean a cycle of birth has not been completed. Their babies could be 20. And all of a sudden they're contracting because their body never got the message and they get to breathe through it. The body is fascinating. So is the brain. They know how to close cycles. We're 6,000 years of creation. I mean, depending on, what theories you believe in, but...
I live this. Zoek dus met this. Nog een keer.
We're 6,000 years of creation. I mean, depending on, what theories you believe in, but...
Weiß she's full of it. Ze kijkt dus ze weiß, wo sie redt. But, du weißt, man leicht toch nog hoog die eigene sprinkles of the cupcake.
We've figured it out, Somehow we've made it this far. We have this anxiety over, oh my God, if I don't figure this out, like life is going to end. It hasn't ended until now. Whatever crises I'm dealing with my kids, I keep saying teenagers have come, they have gone, like we're going to be okay. But But our minds don't know this. Our minds have lost trust in the cycle of completion. So breathwork is one of those ways. Hypnosis is one of those ways where we get the conscious mind, like, dude, take a break and let.
If it's so important, why did she stop? Or maybe she didn't stop. Ze traint aan de eigen.
Subconscious, let the body do its work.
Amazing. Is breathwork something you should be doing individually, one-on-one, or in a group session?
Two different kinds of experiences. Very different.
What is each for?
So one of
Ik wil ook het als een vereng. How do you know if somebody is good or not? Meaning, what are the key signs?
So who should be trying a breath class or whatever it is? Who's a good candidate for this?
So somebody once asked me, I mean, I get a lot of these questions, like, what's your haskama? Like, who's your rabbinical authority for breathwork?
Why does this need a haskama for? Well, who's haskama to go to a...
It's definitely not what we're asking.
What?
Right.
Yeah, but why does somebody ask that?
So I always say, well, people don't know how to trust what's new. So they just want some higher authority to tell them it's okay.
Okay.
And my answer will be, my haskama is Hashem. And they'll say, what do you mean by that? And I'll say, well, why don't you stop breathing and tell me how that works for you? Let me know in a day or two how that worked for you. If you're breathing, you're a candidate, right? Now, are you a candidate for every kind of breath work? No. Absolutely not. And that's a big mistake that I wish more people in this community who are like, oh my God, let's do breath work. It's like, no, not everybody should. There are certain contraindications that a facilitator must know about and a client must know about. You know, a pregnant woman can absolutely do breath work, but they want a facilitator who knows how to facilitate pregnant women. If you have certain heart conditions, your facilitator needs to know. Not every facilitator knows how to facilitate certain heart conditions. If you have certain retinal conditions, they need to know. Neurological conditions, epilepsy, right? No, we need to know these things. There's more. Thyroid issues, we should know. Can it be a problem? It doesn't have to be, but we need to know. Any sort of bipolar, mania, schizophrenia is a big no when it comes to breath work. Does it have to mean that every breath work session is going to bring someone into a manic state? No, but it's something that we don't want to take a risk with. Does that mean that somebody with bipolar or schizophrenia should not do breath work? They could do breath work, but which kind? Probably not the kind that you're hearing about from your friends. They should never be doing group sessions. They need individualized one-on-one focus and not the kind of breath that they're hearing about. They need very regulated, again, very different kind of breath work.
What am I trying to get out of doing breath work? I'm trying to get rid of an addiction. I'm trying to create some of my happy memories that I had as a child. Why do people go? And what's the most common thing that you see it has success with?
I think that once you start focusing.
Brooklyn, weißt du, was immer sagt, wer hat Chassana? No, der Psaloni Bucher oder Agurisch. Als je gesehen mal ein gehirigen Mann Chassana.
On breathing better. Everything in your life is better. Every moment of your life is fueled by you taking a breath. Every cell in your body needs oxygen.
Yep.
There's only one cell in your body that doesn't need oxygen. That's cancer. Cancer is anaerobic. They multiply without oxygen. You expose cancer cells to oxygen, they will spontaneously combust.
Ooh.
That speaks volumes to what breathwork is and can do. So everybody can benefit from learning how to breathe better. When you go to a breathwork session, the kinds that you're thinking about, right? Like a group session.
Yeah, they're trying to get an outcome right there.
There's a lot of emotional release. And when you release that level of emotion, you become more regulated after. So think about, you mentioned that you went to a couple of different yeshivas. I can imagine that your teenage years were not amazing, right? Pretty rough. But big boys don't cry. So what happened?
Hey.
You had all of this difficulty growing up, but there was no one to talk to. You didn't cry. Rage is not acceptable either, right? Rebellion is not acceptable either. So where does all of that go? Remember, your body doesn't know how old you are. It doesn't know that you're past that. It doesn't know that your life is great. All of that suppressed rage still there. Breathwork it's like a release valve. What if it gave you permission to let that all go? And then, so my foray into breathwork was quite by accident. I didn't want to do breathwork. I was like, you know, the Yonah and Nineveh story where he got, yeah, I was the Yonah to breathwork. Didn't want to do breathwork. Breathwork requires that you be embodied. Right, your breath takes you deeper into your body. Yeah. I did not want to be in my body.
Brooklyn, I think you should do some breath work.
Are you still doing it now?
Sure.
So you still I
don't work anymore with private clients. What I do these days is I run 2 trainings.
Gemeint ze verdenkt, she does breath work, not.
I teach 2 courses. So the courses are open to anybody. I teach one course called Vessel, that's on self-development. Another course called Ignite, that's on intimacy and sexuality, and the embodied feminine. And then I teach 2 trainings, facilitator trainings, which is the hypnotherapy training, and Azamra, which is my breathwork training.
Okay, so we touched on a lot of them.
Yeah, you're going around the board.
We didn't touch the intimacy one. So
we did. We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah,
we did touch on that?
We did not. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
So going back to breathwork,
Grad in intimacy, you got to do a lot of touching, but hello.
I was probably the least embodied person.
It's a joke.
I didn't want to live in my body. My body was not a nice place to be. I had gone through stuff growing up. My body carried memory. of that stuff. Cancer being one of those things, right? I had a body that betrayed me, that wanted me dead. And I had to go through chemo. I have scars all over my body. My body wasn't a nice place to live. I remember when I was first diagnosed and thinking, like, it's a weird thought when you're 16 and you're like, I might not be 17. That's so weird. I might not see my next birthday.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm just very curious, my own curiosity. Do you remember the first time you heard the news and who was the one that told you?
Of course.
Who was it?
Yeah. So I was in school and I had a lump in my neck. And the first thing that came to mind was, I don't know if you remember the Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
Sure,
Were
of
very
course.
popular.
Love those books.
Right. And it was always like, Dad had a lump in his neck and then he had cancer, then he died.
Oh.
So like, I was like, oh, there's a lump in my neck. I'm dying. It was my first thought. I ended up going for about 2 weeks of tests and scans because they want to rule out everything, right? It could be this, it could be that. And then about 2 weeks in, I'm with my mom and we're in a hematologist's office. And I'm not an idiot. Hematology is blood cancer. It's blood diseases. And I'm there. And there are bald kids in the waiting room. And my mother is like studiously not looking at them. And I'm like, there are bald kids here. Like, I'm not an idiot. And then I'm with my mother and the doctor comes into the room and he comes in with an intern and they both look really, really serious. And the doctor says, I have news. And my mother just gets very emotional and she starts crying. And he says, so my heart's pounding as I'm saying this. He says, it looks like you have something called Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I say, oh, cool. And he says, do you know what Hodgkin's lymphoma is? And I say, no. So he says, well, he tells me I have Hodgkin's. And I said, I don't know what Hodgkin's is. He's like, well, and he goes, well, it's a type of lymphoma. And I'm like,
Keep going.
cool. He's like, you don't know what lymphoma is, right? I'm like, no. So then he gets like really, really nervous and he starts like, opening his buttons and he's like, well, so you have something called Hodgkin's, which it's a kind of lymphoma, which is a kind of cancer. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, cool.
And then you knew when
He
you
says,
dropped that word.
He says, do you know what cancer is? I'm like, yeah. So then the intern tells me, he's like, can I ask you a personal question? And I'm like, I'm sitting here in a robe that I like to call the ICU. But if you'd like to get more personal than that, go for it. He says, the doctor just told you that you have cancer and you are looking at him like school was just canceled. I'm like, it was.
Okay, so
That
you're
was
in
my
shock.
reaction. So he turns to the doctor. He says, you think she has a problem with her neck? You should probably check her head. I cried later. It took me like 6 hours. I just
of
cried because
course.
I was overwhelmed. I wasn't sad. I was just very overwhelmed.
The doctor can't do anything in the office. You wouldn't know.
I had cancer twice, by the way. That was only my first time having cancer. I had cancer
Sad
again 3 years ago. I'm not that type. I don't get sad. I got overwhelmed with
You don't get sad. You thrive.
On
Are you
people's
kidding me?
sadness.
You don't just quit. You don't just that. A lot of people could say that would be amazing if you just keep yourself going, but you don't just keep yourself going. You accomplish. And Michael, you said at the beginning, you don't just learn and grow. You give back. I quote that when you said that. You give back. You're out there teaching people and helping people, and you
Ich kan hem zijn bij de kiddish redden. To the ganze Schiel.
have your own history. Amazing, absolutely inspiring, and twice. You just second time.
Yeah.
When did you go into remission the first time?
So going back to the question that I was telling you before, when I found out that I had cancer, I remember making this very strange internal decision. If I'm going to fight for my life, I better figure out why this life is worth fighting for. Because I was that typical 16-year-old kid who was not very happy with my life. I didn't really know what I want. Like, I don't fit in anywhere. I was lonely. I'd been bullied a lot. I was in my 5th school in 5 years. I was there. And I was just like, what's the point? And then the doctor's like, you might die. And I'm like,
Nice.
so how do I feel about that? And if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to go through chemo, I better figure out why this life is worth living. And so it's not crazy to me that I ended up doing breath work, even though I didn't want to, because breath work, it's not living in the mind. It's not even living in the heart. It's living in every breath that you take. Like, this breath is meaningful. The cancer that I had, the chemo that I took, actually scarred my lungs very badly. And they told me that I would never have full lung capacity for the rest of my life. I proved that wrong. Like, I'm an athlete. I'm fine. I breathe better than anybody I know. And when you ask me, like, what's the purpose? So becoming more embodied. I want to feel alive everywhere. I want you to feel more alive when you're standing next to me. I want this moment to be special, and it really is. I don't get bored. I don't believe that life is mundane. There are no ordinary moments. Every moment is extraordinary. Every moment is an adventure. I do say Moda Ani differently than anybody else does. I still complain a lot. I still have my down days, but I love my down days. There's something about it, like, wow, I feel it differently. But when I started breathwork, I wasn't living in my body. I feel like I was kind of following my body like 3 days behind. Like, I would watch my head go through life and be like, hold on, And then when I got into breathwork by mistake, and we'll get to that in a
Vind je precies, ik van een family, wie groot je family is, kijk dus wie dat op een as. Jeder ook gered dat de Shabbos is, kan het de shows gaat.
second, because I got there through intimacy counseling, which was really interesting. I resisted the training in breathwork. I didn't sign up for it. Again, mistake. But there was this one moment where I felt like there was a part of me that landed in my body differently. And when I opened my eyes, I can't explain this better, but I felt like I was looking out through my eyes, my eyes, for the first time in my life. I don't know how I was seeing life before, but I had opened my eyes and been like, these are my eyes. I see now. I'm really here. And I heard my body tell me, welcome home. I had never felt at home in my body. Wow. And after that moment, I knew that this was something I had to bring more of. You know, I don't know how much research, you said you did 5 minutes of research on me before I came on the podcast, but if you Google my name, I've been on a world stage since I'm 16, since I wrote the book. I wrote the book when I was 21, but I've been speaking on stages even before then.
We didn't even get to the third paragraph, but I'm loving it. I like it coming out naturally better. It's good.
So if you research old videos of me, old podcast episodes of me, my voice is completely different. I do not sound like the same person. There's an evolution of consciousness growing up in the public eye, because I have been the last 20 years of my life, I've been on stage. And people have watched me grow up. They've watched me evolve. They've watched my voice change. Because it used to be, again, not that long ago, my voice is up here. Like, I would have done an entire podcast interview and I would have sounded like this.
No way.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what else? You hear people talk like this all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So fine. You open up Instagram, everybody on Instagram sounds like this. Probably you have anxiety
Oh my
listening.
God,
Right.
thank God. Wow, okay.
You know why you have anxiety? Because we're all vibratory beings.
Yeah.
Our voice is coming from our voice.
Also knowing it wasn't you. If you would have started off that way, you would have accepted
But it is my voice.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And when I do
That is
breathwork,
not
I
your
always
voice.
say, I want to be the kind of person
This is yours,
that
I
people
guess.
breathe better when they're with me. You just stopped breathing. You breathed worse when you heard my voice up there. And that's a very normal voice. You hear lots of, every seminary girl talks like
That-
this, right? And it's fine.
And it's not normal.
But they all have anxiety. They don't know they have anxiety because they all sound fine. But then
Just imagine a guy takes time going to on tochter and be like, how is she talking? Wieso sounds sie?
your voice drops, which means you're actually speaking from a deeper, more
And you're more in
embodied-
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're more embodied, and people around you hear it with their ears and feel it with their body. The minute I changed my voice, the person who spoke with that voice, I was powerful, I was smart, I was amazing, I was already changing the world, and I was struggling internally.
Yeah.
So now
This
you
is
hear
more
that.
confident. The confident exudes using
I
this
was
kind of
confident then, but differently.
Different
kind of confidence.
Yeah.
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 Feels like you're more in tune now, like I guess with your inner self.
So the breathwork training
Which is
that I
pretty cool
run,
to see, yeah.
it's called a Zamra, which is I will sing. It's all about tune, attunement. Yeah, to me, that's why I noticed your table when I walked in.
Are you musical?
I am. Frequency, sound, vibration, they're all part of this. I believe that breath is the song of creation. We're all singing a song all the time.
But do you sing? Like musically sing?
Well, you know, Kala Isha. But
But do you?
I can
Oh,
sing, I can
Brooklyn.
carry
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
You play the
That's
instruments?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Which ones?
I have a bunch of different handpans, 2 flutes, different kinds of flutes.
Moshi.
So they're played a little differently.
The flute, huh?
Yeah, not a flute, a drone. They're different. Flutes are this way.
Right.
But I say flute because people just know what a flute is.
Right. What did you say it was?
It's a drone.
A drone?
Yeah. So it's like a wooden flute and it has more than one chamber.
Michael, do you know what that is?
I just recently learned about it.
Yeah.
but,
So they're more woodsy.
Pull it up to show him.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
Instead of playing like this, you're playing like that, right? That's
Yeah.
Is that what you see in India with,
Yeah.
with the snake that's coming out of the thing they play?
Maybe,
Almost.
Yeah,
That's
something-
usually this way.
Yeah,
It's in front of you versus.
Yes, it's in front of you.
Yeah.
I have a lyre, which is like a harp. I'm not very good at that one yet, and I'm starting the cello.
wow.
So you like the extreme instruments, like the
Things that actually
dramatic
have
ones.
talent.
Yeah.
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 Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't.
No, like
promise
what happened to the good old fashioned American guitar? You know,
Oh, we have keyboards too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
where was guitar invented? Was it invented in America?
I don't know. We have Stefan for that.
I feel like it makes sense. I feel like it's a,
Google. Oh, he's looking. There's the drone. That's it. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
the drones.
Cool.
oh, I've seen that. I've
Yeah.
seen
Okay, das klingt dus ja Indien. Maar vielleicht skinnen naar zweite tribe member. Met hem.
that. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Alright.
but again, it's just a private thing. Like I play music just for myself.
Oh, okay.
But so to me, frequency, sound, and vibration are everything. So we're all giving off vibrations all the time. You just don't realize it, right? Your heart is vibrating. Your nervous system is vibrating. And your vibratory field extends out around you. Like when the Chachamim said you have 6, like Dalet Amos, right? That's what
Je gaat met het, maar ga je doen en app zingen leren. Is dus beter. Alright.
Amos translates to about 6 feet. And science is telling us that our vibratory field actually surrounds us in a 6-foot bubble, which is crazy because that's what Dalet Amos is. And someone who's musically attuned can actually come into your field and pick up on the vibrations that you're exuding.
Interesting.
And we can do one of 2 things. We can read them for you, like an antenna. Like what if I just went through your field and I kind of picked up on your thing? Like remember before when you were talking about the bodega, like where you bought the cigarettes, I'm like on 18th Avenue. Like I felt it off you. And
Or a very good guess. Because wie nog, verstaast? Zijn is we got 52 states. En dus je kent ook Missouri?
and we can do
Oh,
something
how did you guess?
else. We can introduce new frequencies that your body will accept. So when I was coming up, I taught the breathwork training for a year and it didn't have a name. And we were
English,
thinking of a name. And then all of a
Yiddish.
sudden, Zamra popped in because music and frequency and vibration are a big deal, and I really like that it was one of Rabbi Nachman's teachings about
Brooklyn.
picking up the broken notes.
Do you like study? Do you learn? Because
Yeah.
I'm hearing now throughout this podcast a few times you're dropping some of these pearls of wisdom from, like, I think you mentioned the Chazon Ish or something earlier. No, you mentioned somebody, it was a name or whatever, and then Shlomo HaMelech and this and the Gemara. Do you
How
learn,
dare you learn? Huh?
like in your spare time?
I do.
What do you learn? Like,
Well, we did a CM on Masachet Avodah Zarah this morning.
you learned the whole Masechtas Avodah Zarah Gemara? You can't. But
Kiwi excited at this.
with who?
Part of a shir.
What?
I'm part of a learning group.
There's a collection of women that are sitting together learning Gemara.
How dare you?
I know, right?
This is just
exactly.
news. I did not know that this
That
exists.
women learn?
Gemara.
Well, yeah, Gemara is, I guess, a little bit different than what we're used to in our world.
Michael,
yeah.
3/4 of the
remember
people
being in
in your
Israel.
shul don't learn Gemara.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and
صح وكم تروز the Emerson between here.
Than what we're used to in our world.
Michael,
yeah.
3/4 of the
remember
people
being in
in your
Israel.
shul don't learn Gemara.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, and
I don't think you learn anything more.
who gives this year? Who's
I learn with a women's group called Hadran, and the Rabbanit who teaches it, her name is Rabbanit Michelle Farber.
you learn Rashi and Taisvis and everything
Ish. I mean, it's stuff yomi, so it's faster, but we do learn Rashi and a little bit of Tosfos, yeah.
every day?
Yep.
How long is this going on for?
I started 18 months ago.
You're kidding me.
No, I started with Bava Kama, and I'm about in 2 weeks I'll be finishing Seder.
But what are you getting out of this? What are you searching for? Like, what is the enjoyment?
I can't believe I'm speaking. This might be the part that has to be edited out. I'm not sure. We can continue this conversation, but I don't really talk about this in
I
public.
don't care if we keep it in or not. For me personally, this is fascinating.
It's
because
interesting, though. It's
Yeah, I know,
not.
okay.
How does this translate into relevant things for you? Like, how is this helping you in your a man has a mitzvah to learn. So he learns Gemara, it's part of it, and there are some educational things you could take away, don't get me wrong, but like Avodah Zarah, I don't know, like what are you, like what life lesson did you get that, I'm going to incorporate this is great, or I'm a better
Who
person
said
today?
she's trying to learn a life lesson? from
Why else would she
Gemara?
be learning?
Well, let's first answer that
You
question.
find it
I guess.
stimulating?
I just love it. I don't even know how to answer that. I wish I had a more. I wish I had a better answer.
Well, what drove you to it? Why did you decide one day I would like to learn Gemara?
Er is in ganzen in het.
I think I had this itch for a long time. I was very intimidated by it. I had some learning difficulties growing up, specifically with reading Hebrew. Reading anything, I can read very well from left through, just was so frustrating to me. It took me really until one of my children was struggling, again, 30 years later, to realize that there's new research out there, and apparently it's a thing that nobody knew about when I was a kid. I could not
Interesting.
wait to leave high school and be like, I never want to open a Chumash again. It's not my subject. I really flunked out of all Hebrew subjects.
And then you discovered why.
Yeah. I still have, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I'm feeling a little nauseous even talking about this because I'm so,
This is my hypnotic
yeah,
therapy
you're
that I'm
facilitating
doing.
me now. I'm very private about this piece because I haven't figured it out.
The reason for wo sie is quiet, most probably, is weil, als gesehen die Reaction, was der andere gehad, wo's die lernst, die tis die Sachen, und a viele sie ist also outspoken, schon vor 20 Jahren auf Stages, that she keeps a secret. Just so you guys should know.
And it's like scary for me to talk about it also because I love it so much and I don't know why. Because I feel like an idiot. I show up every morning and I don't know what I'm doing.
Why?
It's 18 months and I still feel like I'm barely keeping my head above water. But I
So
love
it's a challenge. You like the challenge.
Can I ask you, was that your first exposure to learning since high school, or was there something else prior to that?
So till 2016, I don't think I read a single educational book.
Okay.
I read novels, only novels. In 2016, something switched. I don't know what it was.
Got
I
older.
picked up a book by accident, fell in love with it, wanted to know more.
Do you remember what it was?
Yep, it was called The Language of Emotions by Carla McLaren. She really had a great way of breaking down every single emotion, what it's there for, the movement in the body. Kind of tied into what I said about Mel Gibson and the different breaths, right? Tied in over there. To this day, that book is very foundational. In this one of the courses that I teach, Vessel, which is on self-development, the third module in Vessel is called The
MCTS.
Language of Emotions, which
Hello
is
and
the name of her
welcome.
book. It's built on that. I mean, there's more hashkafa put in because Torah also has different words for every emotion. Like there's like 17 words for anger. Because there's many different kinds of anger,
Right.
Right, and if you know the different breakdown of which angers and when they're used and what how they move through the body, you understand that not all anger is the same. Some is healthy. There's an appropriate time to use the different kinds of anger, right? They have a different brain. In fact, in 2012, my daughter was rejected from every like nursery school in Brooklyn.
In
It was really
nursery?
hard to get your kid.
Jesus, starts already at nursery?
It does.
Where they start like
Yeah.
being selective about
Der Jesus gemeint, genuine. Go ahead.
School in Brooklyn because it's really hard to get your kid.
Jesus, starts already at nursery?
It does.
Okay. Real moment. Sie, about hypnosis, she talks about her life, breath work, all that. Here's our response.
Like nursery school in Brooklyn because it's really hard to get your kid.
Jesus, starts already at nursery?
It does.
Where they start like
Yeah.
being selective about which kids are taking it not? My God.
Yeah. So I was very disillusioned with Judaism, not as a religion, but as in why am I here? Like this is not Like what?
Yeah.
I was not a fan. Not a fan. And I was very I was so unhappy. It was a very difficult time in my life. I was also pregnant with my third, and he was a miracle baby because after cancer, I knew that every baby was going to be a gift. But after our second, we were told we would never have more kids. And so this third child was an actual miracle. Like the doctors didn't know, we could never get, we couldn't get pregnant. Oh, we had a fourth child after that, after 10 years.
Wow,
yeah,
good for you guys.
Another miracle child. But I remember being pregnant with this miracle child when my daughter wasn't getting accepted into school and thinking, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
What is this? I fought for this life. I fought for these kids. And then they can't even go to Jewish school. So I was very disillusioned.
It's one of the darker things in our culture is when it comes to schools. And by the way, I want to go back a minute to the thing about the Gemara. I don't want you to think.
No, I'm coming.
But I want to clarify something. And Michael knows this, and I've said it on this podcast, so I have proof. I'm a big advocate for women doing anything a man can do, and I want my daughters to know that their path is open for anything. I don't care what it is. So I'm all for. I just find it so interesting that out of all the things you want to do that a man does, this is what you chose to follow. That's all. That's all I was pointing out. I was like a little surprised.
Ik wil er redden vinden. Ik wil terug gaan zien de point wie geider. Men heeft me kan schools kan kinder in deze zaken. It's a problem. You can see the problem is creeping up, and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's really doing anything about it. How is this going to end? What's going to happen? Wie gaat dit omkomen?
I hope I didn't come across like
Let's say this together. Let's say it together.
or demeaning.
We listen and we don't judge.
We listen and we don't
exactly.
judge. Right, okay.
Don't worry, Asher, you're good.
So at that time, I remember feeling like I need to really reframe my Judaism. The same way when I was 16 and I said, what is this life that I'm fighting for? In 2012, I had to ask myself, what is this Judaism that I'm fighting for?
Brooklyn, do a problem as women learning the Gemara?
Why am I fighting so hard to get my kid into a Jewish school? I can send her to public school.
Yeah.
So that was a new question. You're talking about being a seeker. It was a new question that I had to ask. So I called up Partners in Torah, and I said, give me a partner in Torah. And they were like, so cool. Yeah, we're going to assign you to some college kid, unaffiliated. I'm like, no, I'm the unaffiliated Jew. So they actually did assign me to some college kid, and we studied Parsha for 3 years. Parsha, from the Little Medrash says, the simplest kids version of Parsha. And as I'm reading this every Wednesday night for 3 years.
By the way, the Tish, Zair Tish is a guitar, just FYI, ich habe es jetzt bemerkt.
I'm like, I know nothing. I coined a term at that time called Cinderella Judaism because my daughter...
Wer darf kennen? Sie sucht schon das ein paar Mal. I didn't know, ich darf nicht kennen. This is not the idea of lernen.
Or at the time when I was struggling. She was 3, 4. And weirdly, I don't know why, the Disney stories that we grew up on, that we took for granted, I didn't give them to my kids. So I didn't realize, we take Cinderella for granted. And I remember my daughter had this, a pack of underwear that had a different Disney princess on each one. And I opened it up for her and I'm like, oh, Cinderella. And she's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I'm like, oh, my kid doesn't know who Cinderella is. I'm going to tell you right now. And I get prepared to tell her the story of Cinderella. And I'm like, there was a girl and her mommy died. And my kid's like, that's terrible.
Bad start.
Yeah. I'm like, no, it gets better. Her father remarried to a terrible stepmother. She's like, what?
When's the good part coming?
When's the good part, right? And I keep going and she's like, Mommy, I really don't want to hear the story. It's not a very good story. I'm like, no, hold on. It gets better. And then I tell her about the fairy godmother. Fairy godmother comes, makes everything all better, gives Cinderella glass slippers. And she looks at me and she says, Mommy, we cannot step
Sally, you know the difference here. You know the difference.
on glass. We are going to cut ourselves. I'm like, oh my God, she's right. This is a terrible story. This doesn't make sense at all. And we've never asked these questions. We've just accepted.
Yeah.
And I realized that for me, Judaism was another version of Cinderella. I had not learned Judaism properly since I had been in kindergarten. You learn Parsha for the first time in kindergarten when you're not old enough to think. And then you just accept these things and you don't ask these questions. And I'm like, I need to start asking questions. So I went back to Parsha. That was the first thing. From there, I can't even begin to tell you because it evolved over certain years, but I never considered myself someone who learns. I don't learn. I'm not interested in learning. That was a temporary blip on my radar. But then like 18 months ago, it started a little earlier actually, about 2 years ago, Gemara started coming into my field of awareness. And it just was like, I can't explain it. It was just like, it wouldn't let go. And I was like, I barely read. I can't do this. I don't know what you're talking. I just don't. I was so, it was like the Yonah and Nineveh. Again, it was a calling and I couldn't ignore it. And then I was scrolling YouTube one day and some video popped up out of the blue. I guess, Google's hearing
it
the thoughts.
It knows.
Healing balm for my
And
wound.
they put out this challenge, learning Masechet Megillah.
Cocoa melon is better. Any type of numbing agent for the kinder in this get. Just saying.
I know everyone laughs when I say Masechet because I'm from Borough Park and I speak like I'm, Modocs, but that's where I'm learning. So that's where my language, that's where my Havara goes from. But it's a 30-day challenge. It was an extra Adar that year. And they said there's 31 dafim of Masechet Megillah. We have an extra month. Let's do 31 dafim in time for Purim. And I was looking at it and there were, it was women. And the line that got to me is a shir a daf shir is 45 minutes a day. It's roughly the amount of time you spend watching an episode on Netflix. I was like, I never thought about it that way. Like, it's so easy to just waste 45 minutes on Netflix.
So easy.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
45 minutes on Netflix?
Oh, it's nothing.
It's nothing. Great. So I was like, I can do that. And I started, and I fell in love. And when I finished those 30 days of Megillah, just around that time, they were starting Bava Metzia.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't imagine after those 30 days of Megillah, I wasn't ready to give it up. So I continued with Bava Metzia. And I was like, I'm just listening to the shir. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And then when we started Bava Basra, I was like,
De ganze idea, man darf just lernen. Los alle andere Sachen raus in the window. What's this?
I think I'm in. And that's when I bought my first Gemara. And then
Where did you get your first?
I guess there's a bigger
Did you get it online? Or you went to Eichler's. Like, what did you do?
I went to Eichler's.
You went to Eichler's.
Yeah, now I'm their subscription program. They just have it delivered to my, they don't, no one looks twice.
I'm joking, yeah.
And then halfway through Bava Basra, I realized, I think I'm in it for the long haul. And how would I feel finishing Seder and Zikin when I started in the middle? I have to go back to Bava Kama. So this entire winter, I did Bava Basra in the morning with my Daf Yomi and Bava Kama at night, because my son's bar mitzvah was this year. So I wanted to finish Bava Kama in time for his bar mitzvah.
Are you making siyums also? Like, are women allowed to make siyums?
I made a
Well, only in the kitchen.
Siyum this morning. I don't know, do you have a shot of tequila? We can do it together.
You made a siyum this morning?
Well, mazel tov to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Like you said the whole thing?
Kivi Shakter is.
And,
All the Rav Papas, the Hadran Alach. Yeah.
all that stuff? What is going on over here? I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone right now.
Hold on. That's my gedoe in the That was funny.
Siyum this morning?
Well, mazel tov to you. Congratulations.
Like you said the whole thing?
All the Rav Papas, the Hadran Alach. Yeah.
All that stuff? What is going on over here? I feel like I'm in a Twilight Zone right now. Literally, because I feel like I should be learning more. And you're literally like, what else is going on in your life? Like, what are you hiding other things from us?
So far, I've been an open book. I've answered every question you had. But you asked me what keeps me there. I don't know. I feel like it's very deeply psychological. Like,
We can feel as she means it though. She means it.
like Talmud. I know the rabbis in the room would hate when I say this, but I'm like,
Hashigrin.
understanding who these
Hello,
voices
welcome.
are, what made
How
them
you
say
doing?
the things they say, what did they know, what caused them to, what were the goings on at the time that caused them to determine halacha in that way, to have these conversations. I literally feel that I'm sneaking into the back of the base medrash where I'm not allowed to be, and I'm hearing all of these voices, and I'm like, I just want to know. I just want to hear what you're talking about. I want to hear what you're thinking. And again, because I'm a woman and because I'm coming at this much later in life, I do have a different view. Because I'm not conditioned into this Cinderella Judaism since I'm, Kita Dalit,
Ooh,
right? So to me,
Cinderella
it's just like,
Judaism.
tell me more. There's so much I don't know, and I
Wow.
enjoy feeling a little bit like an idiot. I sit there in the morning, and it's literally what gets me out of bed. I don't start my day before learning, so I wake up extra.
Du zwei so-called Jiden, ja? Zij davon sitzen und lernen und in alle Sachen und zij hören eine Frau, die sagen, this is so funny.
Early to get that done, and I hope I never lose that love. I'll tell you what.
I'm jealous of you.
Yeah. We can see that you're jealous.
You're having a better time than I am. And I feel like you're getting more out of this than a lot of men are.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable. And you're also looking at this from such a mature perspective. Like, you genuinely want to know.
I want to know.
Ay. What's wrong with the system?
You're in it to win it. You're in this because, like, there's a lot of knowledge out there and you're thirsty for it. And this is what I think it was all meant for.
Ik denk dat van unheim lassen de Frauen lernen. Machen einen Platz für Frauen. Sie können machen Siyums in der ganze Sache.
I mean, there's pearls of wisdom all over the place in the Gemara.
Said go check for us if she's a man.
That's why any businessman, they always say, oh, he has a Gemara cup. Makes sense.
There's something about it.
Right? Because there's so much.
She wasn't traumatized about learning. She did say she was traumatized. But sie gesagt, sie hat ein bisschen Trauma. Is it keimlich connected?
Intricacies, so much.
In wieviel Frauen Arim, wo es in der chassidische Welt, wo es willen lernen, in Hubma Group, kennen nicht. Weil madig de Männer kicken es so, like, what? Lernst? Stell vor in der chassidische Welt, bist du machlal nicht encouraged.
Like, really crazy things, like thought processes and all that only comes from the Gemara.
Jetzt stell dich vor, sein Mama, oder die beides Mamas, wo gehad als a love zu lernen, right? Und wo es gewiss, dass Mami steht auf in der Früh, sie lernen den Daf, und sie lernen die Gemurre, and you would want to copy Mami, right? And you would, es wohl gewinn mehr Lerners, nicht öfter.
And
Let's be real.
you're tapping into that. And with your background as the psychoanalysis that only you can do, I feel like
Als sag Sachen hat hier noch mit der Heimherrschi. Als keiner in der Heim kehrt nicht, Mami kann nicht lernen, weil man darf nicht lernen. Tati lernt nicht, weil wer lernt. So.
you guys are speaking each other's languages, and it's almost like this was built for someone like you.
Right. So there was something that came up a week ago on Daf Ayin Aleph, that they had this conversation of, it's about Yain Nesach, right? Wine from idol worshippers. So if they touched the wine, if they saw the wine, right? If they opened the wine, if the wine mixed, all these different questions about what would happen with the wine. So there was this Mishnah that says, okay, if a band of soldiers came in and they opened up all the caskets of wine at the same, right? Are they allowed or are they not allowed? And the question is it wartime or is it not wartime, right? Because sometimes they have a thirst and sometimes they're just looking to loot and steal. So there's a question about that. So they compared it to another Mishnah about, sexuality. Do we have to worry that the soldiers are destroying all the women in town? Could they marry Kohanim, whatever? And is it wartime? Is it not wartime? And then Rav Mary pops up and says, no, you don't. That's not the same thing. With sexuality, you never ask this question because that thirst is never abated. And I was like, wait, Rav Mary was born out of that kind of relationship. He's Shmuel's grandson, who was born out of rape. His mother was raped by a nobleman, and so he had a non-Jewish father. And again, there are two Rav Marys in the Talmud, and we don't know which one. It doesn't say which Rav Mary is talking, but both Rav Marys in the Talmud had a non-Jewish father.
Als van lernen. Nou, Herr Shechel, ich rede dafke von dir, but lass mal sagen, ein Mensch wie dir, wo sie durchgegangen, whatever die bist durchgegangen, in hates learning, but schickt noch seine Kinder zu a chassidische, jiddische school, für wie gehen sie bekommen der Love, at least at der Wab lernt, kann es heraushelfen.
And I'm like, I can't believe no one's talking about this. So
I can't even believe it. I just heard this for the very first time. I'm like,
Kijk wie verloren er is. Kijk wie übergenommen er is.
Like, I can't believe no one's talking about this. So
I can't even believe it. I just heard this for the very first time. I'm like, can you start coming? Can you come to my shul, please? Can you start giving shares in the morning?
Mary never gets mentioned in Masachet Avodah Zarah. His name doesn't come up, as far as I remember. I never heard his name in Masachet Avodah Zarah.
You keep saying what? Mary?
Mary.
Mary?
Yeah.
Who's Mary?
That's his name. He's Shmuel's.
Not Rameir.
No.
Mary? Like Mem Resh Yud?
Yep.
Did you ever hear of Mary before?
Zwei Jiden was dat supposedly lernen. Kennen nicht gar nicht.
Don't look at me.
Never
Rav Meiri, maybe?
Meiri.
Remember,
Yes.
I'm learning with a different
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm not, like now we're learning, like next we're starting tomorrow, we're starting Horayot. And my friends are like, you mean Hyrius? I'm like, I don't know, Michael, they say Horayot. Like, I'm going to go with what works. So
Michael, I have to say, we must do part 2.
He has not yet opened his mouth.
I would like for you to come back. There is way more to uncover. I feel like we just scratched the surface, is really what I feel like. We don't even know who you are, where you came from. We know nothing about you, and I feel like I'm your friend already. I feel like we should exchange numbers, and
You have to, because you're going to text me in 2 weeks about the cigarette.
about the cigarettes, exactly. It was really a pleasure to meet you.
My pleasure.
Honestly, it was amazing. And by the way, you're an inspiration, just so you know. Does not go unnoticed about the difficulties that you had to overcome, the challenges that you faced. And let this be a lesson.
Edifying.
Let this, for all the viewers, for anybody out there that has any challenge that's even remotely close to the challenges you had to face, you can do anything. You can be anyone, and you can help everyone. And you're a testament to that. So I respect you. I really do. I admire everything that you've accomplished so far and continue to.
What
it
a
sounds
good
like you're never
podcast.
happy. The book is still being written.
I'm always happy.
Always
But
happy.
There's always more. I never talk about my Talmud
If she's not happy, she does a little breathing.
learning.
I don't know. You know what? Look, there is a lot of people that would say women have no place learning Gemara.
I
Why?
still think I have no place learning Gemara.
So where do you think that comes from?
Hold on. What was that?
I-
Wat had ze gezegd?
Learning Gemara.
I still think I have no place learning Gemara.
So where do you think that comes from?
I have to argue with it. I mean, there are many women mentioned in the Gemara. Obviously, they're outnumbered by men.
Yeah, of
But
course.
there are smart women mentioned in the Gemara who learn Bruria, Yalta, right? They have names. They have personalities.
Oh, ze geben ze voeder op met die voice.
Rav Chizda's daughter is
Chizda's
mentioned more
daughter.
than any other woman in Talmud. She doesn't have a name, but she was married to 2 Talmidei Chachamim, Rava and Rami Bar Chana. I'm saying Rabba Bar Chana. I mean Rami Bar Chama. And like she's very well regarded in the Talmud. Women in Talmud in general are well regarded, taking into account the times, right, the time period and the roles that women played. I think the line that gets quoted most often is Rebbe Eliezer ben Harkana saying, "Teach your daughter Torah, you're teaching her tiflis, you're teaching her promiscuity." What people are not realizing is that it's taken out of context. I believe it's in Gemara Sota Daf Chaf, and
Ooh.
the context that it's in is that in the time of the Sota, the woman who was accused of adultery and she was given the bitter waters. If the bitter waters didn't work on her, what she was told is it's the merit of the Torah that you learn that it's protecting you. And so Rebbe Eliezer said, don't say this, because if you're teaching the daughters that they can learn Torah and they'll be protected from the bitter waters, they're going to be able to learn Torah and protect themselves and do whatever they want.
Ooh.
But that's not the truth of don't teach your daughters Torah. He said
Exactly.
it in the context of this one thing. But I feel like for me, learning this is the Judaism
So then women should learn.
I'm fighting for, right? I'm not fighting that women should learn Gemara. To me, it's like if you love baking kugel, if you're a great mommy to your kids, if this is the life that you love, if you're not a seeker, don't. It's not for you. I'm not a feminist, I'm not like that. I don't even believe that all the men have to learn Talmud. I think this thing of every man has to be in yeshiva. It's very new.
Sorry,
I think it's like under 100 years old.
Brooklyn, de kips daheim in der Wab zoekt Zet zich erop met gaan lenen. Zoek de gemoede water.
Right?
Maar de Brooklyn, huh?
The times of our grandparents in the shtetl, not everybody went to yeshiva. Not everybody learned. The idea of marrying a learning boy was like, you had one phenomenal learner in the town, right? If the town had one kid that was accepted to the yeshiva, the whole town celebrated their Eloi of the town, the genius of the town. So this whole way that we navigate the education system, it's an education system that was designed by the Industrial Revolution, basically create factory workers, create assembly line workers. We've created an assembly line Torah. Right? Everybody has to fit the mold. That's never what Torah was. I've discovered a way that lights me up. I feel so terrible almost talking about this in public because it lights me up and I'm so scared of losing that love. Like, what if, like, it's almost like it's so private that I want to know that I will love it forever because I'm very lit up by life itself, but there are very few things that just are so, I don't know, that are so personal to me. Like, it's my guilty pleasure. It's so...
Well, the only person that can shut it down is you yourself. So what are you afraid
Right,
of?
no, but like, I almost still can't believe how much I love it.
What are you afraid of, though? I'm not sure I get that.
That it will turn off. And is it shouldn't the love anymore?
Lost it.
Why would you lose it? You're in control of what you learn.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it's not about learning.
Is it growing up in an
You can fall out of love.
environment where women shouldn't be learning Torah? Is that what you're thinking in
Or
the
the
back of
way
your
I
mind?
loved Torah, the way I learned Torah growing up
Yeah.
just did not feel like love to me. And
Right.
I'm not sure why I fell
So
in love
why
with
fight it?
Torah. Right, I'm not fighting it, but that's why I don't speak about it in public.
I think it's cool to speak about it. I mean, I hope we can release this part of the discussion simply
I hope we
because
can celebrate my Siyam Shas in a few years.
that would be amazing. You'll be the only woman at the Siyam Shas. We had someone
Why? Why we the only woman? Met inspiren do. Ze zijn sie met Sally.
here who was the producer for the Siyam Shas.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we'll ask him to get you a seat in the next
Yeah,
one.
I don't know how they feel about people like me. Because again, I think,
That would be amazing. You'll be the only woman at the Siyam Shas. We had someone here who was the producer for the Siyam Shas.
Oh, that's so cool.
And we'll ask him to get you a seat in the next
Yeah,
one.
I don't know how they feel about people like me. Because again, I think, a lot of the men that I meet, they have been steiging. They've been working hard.
Yeah.
They've been smacked by their rebbeim since they're 8 years old. They're like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
you
what
don't,
am I doing?
you don't know Torah.
I think we'll save this part for round two. And I really invite you to take us up on that offer and come back and have this continued discussion. And until then, we'll hear all the feedback from people and hear what they say about what could be the challenge of it. But, I'm actually, I want to say I'm very happy for you. I learned a few years ago, someone taught me the idea of instead of saying to my kids, I'm proud of you, to start saying a little bit that I'm happy for you.
Yep.
So in this kind of context, I would say I'm both, but I don't want to sound, off here by saying I'm proud of you. What am I to be proud of you? But I'm happy for you that you're on the, journey of finding what you love and doing it. No one can take that away from you. So I wouldn't be afraid of sharing it simply
I think
because.
it's like an Ayin Hara piece. Like, if people know how much I loved it, maybe like lightning is going to strike from the sky.
Or if people know how much you loved it and how good it's doing for you, it might do good for them.
Do you know how many weird nightmares I have with people running away with my Gemara? I know it sounds crazy. It's literally, it's the nightmare that I wake up most often from. Where's my Gemara?
You're definitely one out of a trillion, right? I don't think anyone's ever having those kind of nightmares.
I cannot believe I'm saying that.
Either way, I think it's awesome, and I hope we can share this. And I think that the idea of what you're doing in general in life is to help others. And by talking about finding your passion, regardless of whether it's Gemara or Chumash or something to learn from, and open your eyes to that and really live a fulfilling
I'm
life.
also passionate about laundry. I'm not joking. Like anything, as long as something like
Ze zoekt laundry. 45 men just signed out of the
It's
conversation.
What are you passionate about laundry? You like the smell? You like cleaning? What is it?
there's something very soothing about folding laundry and folding them into these perfect OCD piles.
I wouldn't
Also
know.
by
I wouldn't
color.
know.
And the smell, getting your laundry to smell right. It's important, yeah. I'm not just passionate about intellectual subjects. I'm just passionate about, I get to live this life.
Yeah.
This life is important.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And, we do usually ask people in the middle of the podcast to share a message. What would that message be for you? If you had that opportunity for one specific message of growth or whatever it is that you can talk about, what would that be? A specific message to the listeners?
Wow. I know that this is like a very standard question, and I should have like a very glib response rolling off my tongue. The thing that pops into my mind right now is stop focusing on the big things and focus on the smallest things, because they matter the most. For me, taking one breath at a time, it really matters. The world can wait. Everything that you're dealing with, right? Like, there's a famous line: if this is not going to matter in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes on it, right? It's not 100% true 100% of the time, but it's a good line. But you know what will matter? This breath that you're taking right now. Because if you don't take this breath, your life is over. And I know it sounds like the smallest thing that you can be doing, but that's the message. Sometimes, like when I was 16, when you're 16, you think you're on top of the world. You think you have it all figured out. You're not talking to your parents because they're dumb and you're smart. And you have this vision for who you are, who you think you are, what life you're going to lead. And then it's like, nope, actually, that's gone. The person you thought you were, that's gone. The body that you thought you lived in is going to change forever. Your health is going to change. Your friends are going to, everything is going to change. You can't control any of it. What's required of you is to be right here, right now. This moment is the only moment that matters because every other moment that you're going to live is predicated on this one. You can't have a future without your now. So focus on your now. I worry a lot because I'm a mom. Like that's what we do. We're supposed to worry, right? And my kids don't need me to worry about their future. My kids need me to be here with them right now.
This is nice. Yeah, nothing about your future.
Even
It's
though I
about
had a
now.
million things to do because I'm running a training next week and I have a million things on my head. Last night I spent 2 hours watching a movie with my kid because that's what she needed. And it was a great 2 hours because that's what the now demanded. Everything else can wait. Everything else will get there. But this moment is the only one you can control. And if this was the last moment I ever spent on earth, would it matter? Would someone look at this moment and said, this was a great one? So
Oh,
Wow. For someone who didn't have a message, that's pretty darn good.
yeah.
I appreciate that. Who would you recommend to sit in this seat for the podcast? That's one of the things that we don't let you go without picking somebody.
I would give you 2 names.
Who would you pick?
A mentor of mine that's actually my business coach, but also a personal mentor of mine, Rabbi Ezra Max. He's been very instrumental in my life in the last 2 years. Not just in, he calls himself a business coach, but he is the person who doesn't let you separate yourself and your
He's a problem
growth
for mankind.
and your spirituality from what it is that you do in the world, which is everything that I believe in. So that's been, I think he's someone who would fit right in over here, having the conversations with you. And the second person that I would recommend is you should call my mom.
Your mom.
How much?
Wow.
How
I
long
think
is
we
this
should
video?
Never got that before. Love it. Tell
Yeah.
me about your mom.
My mom, her name is Rifki Lemmer. She is a powerhouse. I mean, she raised me. She had to be she survived my childhood. So she and my dad are pretty awesome human beings. My mom runs a company with my father. They own a company called CompuPhone, a telecommunications company. And she is the power behind it all. She's the foundation of everything. My father would be the first one to tell that to you. And she's not just a business mind, she's a mom. And even while I was sick with cancer, she was cooking meals for High Lifeline. Like I was the cancer patient and High Lifeline was picking up meals and she was running a company and doesn't miss a day of work and she was on the PTA. And, people love interviewing me without realizing that I was made by somebody. Like it's nature, it's nurture, but there are really good people in my life that got me to this point.
First
That
of all, I
must
want
be
them both,
nice,
but
yeah.
before we get to that, I just want to say that you're here today because I post a
Her
lot.
father is Papa. It was too good to be true, you're saying, Brooklyn. Had to be messed up, huh?
On LinkedIn.
I'm here because of my mom.
That's true. I'm saying that
My mom got me this gig.
in this moment at the podcast. So I've been talking a lot on LinkedIn and quoting a lot of our guests, and we have recommendations that people give us all the time. So Aaron Brody, shout out to you. Thank you, Aaron, for recommending us to you. I don't even think you know who he is.
No, so do you know how he got to me?
I don't know.
Oh, so this is the funniest story. So my mom
CompuPhone?
hired Ronnie.
Oh, you are here because of your mom.
Yes, I wasn't
thought you were
joking. I thought you
joking.
knew.
No, I had no idea. He
Okay.
just recommended. He's like, this. You have to have this woman on your podcast. And I'm like, hey, Aaron knows LinkedIn. He knows what he's doing there, so he probably knows a little bit about this.
That's hilarious.
So I took his advice, and here you are.
So my mom, telecommunications company, right? So there was the Builder Show about 2 weeks ago, and they had a booth there. And through LinkedIn and marketing and sales, they hired
Hello,
Aaron to come and
Hello,
represent
welcome.
at their booth, right, for sales leads and marketing. And so as they're talking and as they're collabing, they're schmoozing, and I don't know how the conversation got there because I'm only hearing this secondhand. Aaron mentioned something about past lives, and his rabbi says something about having a mission and a purpose, and we come back, life after life. So my mother very casually drops in, oh, you sound like my daughter. My daughter's into these things. So he tells my mom, he says, your daughter, does she know Folly Klein? And she's like, my daughter is Folly Klein.
That's the best.
Right. So that was this unexpected like nachas call, My mother's like, how do you end up in my world? Like my mom is like straight laced telecommunications, but she's not, So then Aaron reached out to me and says, I want to introduce you to my friend. And I'm like, and then I see the name of your podcast. I'm like, none of your business. I'm not really in business. And like that's what I told you. Like, why am I here?
Good.
And
I think we figured it out.
I think we figured it
What
out.
a great
thank
episode.
you, Aaron, and thank you, and thank your mom. We're not going to let you go there without at least calling one of them. So let's call Ezra.
Sure. I'm on a podcast. I'm on the None of Your Business podcast with Michael Greenfeld.
It's none of your business where I am.
It's none of your business where I am. Yeah, and he has a question for you. Are you
Surprise, surprise, Polly. We know each other really well.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
No way. That's so weird.
Actually spent the Shabbos on the largest military base in the United States.
No way.
I was excited to see if you could get him on video. What's going on? How are you?
Funny. I am completely breaking a bunch of vehicle traffic laws right now on video. Wow, and I'm copping to it. Is this prosecutable? What's up?
I don't know. We'll get an attorney and figure it out. I want you to know that she picked you to be a guest on our podcast, so now you have no choice.
Say again?
Rabbi Ezra Max, would you please come on our podcast?
Absolutely. I love direct requests.
Thank you again to all the subscribers.
All right. Whew. What a great episode. What a great podcast. Man kan sehen, du de andere Saat. Einer, was hat actually loved it heute. Einer, was hat, durchgegangen live. Very interesting. Wenn deze wel gekommen von einer Dude, wird jeder gegangen, Es gibt von der Women, from the wife side. All right. So before we watch this, so actually very interesting. Funny enough, as wegen Hypnosis, ich bin gewesen in a book club und ich habe gesucht von der Gevre dort in der book club, aber soll hiren a hypnosis guy, hypnosis person to, you know, I don't like what the book sucht. They looked at me like a little interesting, but I think we're going to bring up the idea again. Wow. Brooklyn, you don't look eye to eye? Because you agree, huh? If you disagree with her, then was da reinkicken på honom. I'm kidding. All right, very nice, very interesting. All right, laat me even wat deze was Sally had geschickt. Leave a comment, Viggy? What should I... Oh, okay. What an awesome and great and powerful episode. Loved it. What else? Yep. Under your message? Shalom, Brooklyn. Nice to see you here. Oh, hold on. Staat broken. There you go. What an awesome podcast. The link is down in the description below, so the visitors gaan zijn entirely. Ga checken zelfs. Zo Viggy sent je. All right. Laat maar ending met hem. Sally deze geschickt, so we're gonna finish with this. Hold on.
אתה שם למעלה. אתה יודע שהבשר הזה טמא?
תקשיב לי טוב, אתה צודק, אבל אם כבר עלו, לא ירדו. נשתה בלילה, לא יורד, דם שנשפך, לא יורד, דם שיצא חוץ לקלעים, לא יורד, הלן, לא יורד, יוצא, לא יורד, תמה, לא יורד, נשחט חוץ לזמנו, לא יורד, נשחט חוץ למקומן, לא יורד, פרסולים קיבלו וזרקו, לא יורד, ניתנים למעלה שניתנן למטה, לא יורד, ניתנים למטה שניתנן למעלה, לא יורד, ניתנים בפנים שנתנן בחוץ, לא יורד, ניתנים בחוץ שנתנן בפנים, לא יורד, פסח או חטאת שנשחטו שלא לשמן, אם עלו למזבח, לא ירדו.
Get, I like. It's getting out of hand. He's getting out of hand. Alright, Gevre. Dus ik heb me dat zaten met af te gezegd en met af te zeggen goodbye. It's kind of easy, no matter how many times I try, but I gotta do it. We gotta say goodbye. Vergeet maar eens follow, like, share, comment, subscribers. Viele Davis, du gewinn für eine kurze Zeit, eine lange Zeit. Viele Davis, um auf andere Tab gemacht mit YouTube. Jene Tab, warum ich meine dir. You should consider reviewing. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things I'll keep reviewing. Meaning the channel. It was great. Fama Guide will ich sagen, die willst supporten the channel. Kannst du schicken oder ein Superchat. Oder kannst du gepinnt a comment bei Buy Me a Coffee. Oder kannst du schicken a Quick Pay. Whatever floats your boat. So, you know, this helps out the channel. That keeps it going. Gib hit the like oder bis noch du. Alright, Gevre. Okay, housekeeping. Monday, we'll see you on Monday, 8:45 in the morning. Ooit zet ook iemand voor de unboxing ergens even on Monday. We'll go and check and see if it's ongekimmen. How do you send a quick pay? I will pin the address via GGY. VIGGYVibes@gmail.com. Kan me schicken a quick pay, wat bijna wil. En kennis houden anonymous, maar kennis me farsen zijn. We could do all that. All right, done with housekeeping. Thank you again for you being here. Really means a lot, you know. All right, Gevre. Had ze Aziz en Lechting Shabbos met dat awesome weekend. Whatever boat makes your boat float. You know what I mean? So, you ever gonna show the book I sent you? Next week, Monday. I'm gonna open it up on Monday. So, we'll see you there. We'll see you Monday. Peace and love, everybody. Like I say, until next time, stay kind to one another.